Holy God, I hate Monday. I fucking hate Monday. I hate Monday so much. Man, I heard my alarm going off and I was like, I was so tired. I was just like, I just let it go off for like 2 minutes. And I was like, nope, not today. And then it just kept going off. We need like a new life. That's what we need. We need a new life. One that doesn't involve working every single damn day like this. Oh man, we got a whole bunch of games and a whole bunch of content. I will say that is kind of a benefit of not taking not working over the weekend like I've been doing. I get a lot of stuff that I can go through on Monday. It's kind of nice. I can't believe Monster Hunter is trying to come out with a new game when the other one flopped big time. The prior Monster Hunter to this was a massive flopperooski. Bro, it bit the dirt. Between its piss poor optimizations and who knows what else. What the hell is this? Bro, this is a cell phone game. This ain't a new game. This is a cell phone game. You know, I don't doubt that it looks like that. But I imagine it don't look like that for very long once the battery dies. Going anywhere with this? Monster Hunter World was pretty good. I remember when it came out, I was still working at Walmart. It was pretty good. It wasn't that bad. I thought it was a little weird, but it was that bad. It was my first Monster Hunter game. It looks like these are even pre-made characters. It doesn't even look like you really get all that much out of this. That looks weird. Huh. I wonder if that'll actually be any good. Bro, you about to get sick! Woo! I would not want to be you right now, brother. Man, you about to get sick. Bro, I took that fucking the COVID vaccine, man. Never again. I didn't even catch goddamn COVID, bro. Ever again. That looks crazy. That looks crazy, yo.
Citizens of Pywell. Today, a new chapter in this land's history shall be written by our own hand.
We fight those who wield power to prey on the weak.
This game looks like it might be really good. It's either going to be, this is going to be a hit and miss game, 100%. It's either going to hit and it's going to go crazy, or it's going to be a complete and total flop like Mind's Eye.
Beasts who think themselves men. That is what it means to be a remake. The time has come to do what we believe to be right. Cliff, seek out your Greymane comrades. Uncover the truth that lies within. And let your...
Yo, he's got a wolf mountain. Wait a minute. He's got a wolf.
Uncover the truth that lies within.
That's really cool. It's a dire wolf. That's so cool.
And let your heart speak without fear.
In the end, all will come together as one.
We fight for the future of all. Sound the horn of our final battle. Fight! Fight for Pywell!
Your fight is not for revenge, nor glory, nor pride.
From what I understand, you could actually fly a dragon in this game.
This is your hour.
Remember who you are, and let it guide your path.
Yeah, look, you can fly a dragon.
Remember who you are, and let it guide your path. For at the end of it, you will find the answers you seek.
This looks crazy, brother. I need to know, is this going to be single player? Is Crimson Desert going to be single player? Oh, it might not be bullshit, boys. It will have a single player. It is considered to be an open world single player narrative campaign, but it will also feature a multiplayer mode where players can recruit others to join their band of adventurers. So it will be an open world action adventure game focused on a story-driven single player experience. This game might actually be really fucking good, boys. I hope it delivers. Damn! Look at that! That looks insane! That's pretty. Boys, they're already... I'm so happy they're doing this with Borderlands 4. I'm so fucking happy they're bringing back new characters. This is going to be an amazing year, boys. It's going to be a freaking amazing year. Quarter of 2026. We got new characters to Borderlands 4. I haven't seen new characters since PlayStation 3 era of Borderlands. I haven't seen games coming out that have made me so excited to play like the ones that I've seen towards the end of this year. I am so excited to start playing some of these baller games. Dude, we got a new fucking Kiwami? Like, come on, dude. It doesn't get any better than that. This is the actual gameplay. He's not done yet. You could pick up motorcycles and swing them around. As weapons. Yeah, look, he's got a sign. Kazuma Kirito doesn't care. Oh. Oh! Oh, he's got a little shield sword. Oh, he got weapons. He's got weapons. There's no way that's going to be a main flow of the game. If you don't know, just about every weapon in the Yakuza games, they just break over time. Which, like, over time, like, if you have a gun and you shoot it 5 times, it's broken. Or if you have a sword and you, like, swing it a total of, like, I think it's like 10 or 20 times it's broken, which isn't a lot. Because there's a lot of melee in the game. Ooh! Let's go! This game should already be out, just so you're aware. It looks okay. I watched the sponsored stream and they said it was okay. It was okay. I wonder if they're gonna start leaning more into this now that they see how well it does. If they're gonna start leaning more into beast-like characters where they're hybrids of zombies and like normal play. I'm very, very curious to see where this is gonna take the franchise. I don't know if I have. First and foremost, I want to make this statement before we even get into this. Diablo 4 is a complete and total joke to the entire franchise. I preferred Diablo 3. I've never played Diablo 2. I want to and I need to. It's on the to-do list. I probably won't do it on stream, but they do have a version of it for PlayStation 5. I will most likely end up playing that at some point. But as of right now, the only one that I've played is Diablo 3, so you'll have to forgive my ignorance. But Diablo 4 is an absolute joke and a mistake and blight to humanity. Now that we got that out of the way, StarCraft, on the other hand, I've heard nothing but good things about. Damn, I like her assets. That's cool. Wait, what is that? Oh my god, that's a playable character? That's so cool. That's pretty sick, man. Oh, you get a little pet. Look at him. Pets don't do anything. Normally they'll grab stuff. Some of them have effects. I think I had like a little loot goblin in Diablo 3. If he picks up enough items, he'll drop like a rare, enough gold, he'll drop like a rare item. Or if he picks up enough like gear, he drops a rare item. That's sick. That looks sick. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. As far as trailers go, that was phenomenal. Boys, this game cannot seem to launch fast enough. We have a live action trailer for Battlefield 6. I have not seen this. I have no idea what it's about. I'm so curious. Let's do it.
The world is a vampire. Sent to drain.
Showtime.
Secret destroyer. Hold you up to the flame.
I don't know any of these people.
What do I get?
Okay, boys, we're here to do one thing. One thing.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Doesn't matter. Let's move. Let's go the area.
Right.
2 clicks out.
And a tank. Let's take it out.
Roger that. Let's go! Light it up!
Damn.
On it!
Oh, that's new. When did they add that to the game?
Take him out!
Drones too?
That's
That's sick.
Sorry, boys.
Nice shot.
Yeah, that was easy.
This is it!
I see the flag.
Say when?
Sending!
Battlefield 6. Pre-order now.
Bro, everybody is waiting for this game to launch. People are actively going out of their way to say, as soon as this game launches, COD is just, they're going to stop playing COD altogether. Apparently, this had like the best ratings for a multiplayer experience that has been seen in like over 3 years now. Well over, actually it's been more than 5, right? When did Battlefield 5 come out? It's been a while. But Battlefield 5, its reviews at launch were terrible. It's still kind of like teetering on the edge of like Oblivion. When this game comes out, bro, like, it's gonna be crazy. So we had Escape from Tarkov. Now we have Dukov. Yo, they're like squawking at each other. Oh, 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 oh. That's right. Escape from Dukov. Whoa, here we go. Oh. Bro, this game keeps getting hyped up.
They're all dead. They just don't know it yet.
This should be a reboot or a remaster. I don't think this is a newer...
Come out, wherever you are.
Ooh. Arrow. Oh! No, that looks just like Doom.
The Festival of Blood continues.
Festival of Blood.
Who's next?
Oh!
Bye-bye now.
Brick blood supply. The relic. First Guardian. Here we go.
Brutals don't just cause pain to those who fall in battle. The ones left behind. They're the reason we fight to survive. The children you meet at the camp, the merchants on the road. Everyone you'll meet carries
That's
a
cool.
story of their own.
That's what the gameplay looks
Some have
like?
lost everything.
Oh
to the
my
brutals.
god, that's insane.
Others live each day in tears for their families,
Oh,
consumed by the void.
that
Listen
looks
to their
good.
stories. Help them find what they need. Because you were the first guardian. Where the light lingers. Under Tyball's
Damn,
blessing,
bro.
I'll be waiting for you there.
Welcome, child of the future.
I don't think this game's gonna be very good.
Forget the lies she filled your mind with.
It
Slaughter
looks
your
good, but I don't think it's
and
gonna have it.
prove your worth to me.
Music is banging though. It's a roguelike, so you have to die in order to win. I don't know. Maybe I'll get proven wrong, but it doesn't really look that good to me. Oh, is that it? That all the games? Oh, that's all the games. All right, let's get it.
Understand
pause.
just how old sharks are.
We got a boomer.
See, I'm not just talking individual sharks. Hammerheads, Bruce from Nemo, Jeff. Your average shark lives anywhere between 20 to 80 years. Nothing all that special. I'm talking sharks as a species. Because as a concept, sharks are fucking one-tricks. They have mained this class through every single balance adjustment Earth has thrown at them.
Yep.
From climate change to the Ice Age to that time God decided to punt a rock at Barney the dinosaur. Yeah, when it comes to prehistoric shark species, most people think of the megalodon. That big boy the size of a kaiju that was swimming around in the ocean around 26 million years ago. Which might sound like a long time, but as far as sharks go, this thing's a fucking zoomer.
You know what's crazy to think about sharks? They're literally just really big ass fish with a an aggressive attitude, and a lot of very, very sharp teeth. That's like if you look at the structure of a shark, it's a big ass fish, like a salmon, but it's just really big.
Way back around 250 million years to the early Triassic, before the literal dinosaurs, and you'll find Helicorpion, a shark with a buzzsaw for a mouth. 250
What the
not
hell?
far back enough for you? Go back around 300 million years, and you will find Adestus.
Adestus?
Pog shark. And if that is still not far back enough, you can go all the way back, right to the beginning, to the first recognizable shark, Goliotus problematicus, at 410 million years old.
What the
Sharks
hell?
have existed for 4 times longer than Saturn has had rings. The first tree only sprouted out of the ground 385 million years ago.
Jesus.
That means that for 25 million years, Groot's great-great-grandfather was sat in God's drafts while this chased Nemo.
That's insane, bro.
I don't think you understand.
That's insane. I would like to finally say we have some Boom Morphed again. I was just talking about him recently, and I'm happy to see him back. Welcome back.
Customer. Boom, morphed again.
Let's
It is
go!
such a great day today. Hey you, my pristine, totally awesome water park is open. Do you want to come swim for 72 hours straight for $6? No one has died today.
Perfect safety record this
Goob Lagoon.
morning before lunch.
Okay, fine. $6 for an adult. Once you go in, you can't leave. But you better wear this, or else. Anal. Do what? You heard me, you sexy ass fur ball.
Oh!
Chocolate ice cream. Just finished my 7th gallon about 10 minutes ago.
Oh my god, that's Jack. That's so mean.
Number 8's in the freezer. Bring a spoon. Let me show you around. Walk with me. This here used to be the Octo Drop. 8 stories straight.
Oh my god, dude!
Still coming.
AI is brutal. The queso!
It works. If you scream loud enough.
Oh my god!
Boom, morphed again. I'm not riding that. Out of the way.
If you've never seen queso before, you're missing out. You have not experienced probably one of the best Twitch streamers ever.
See Glizzy Protocol. Yo, that's my.
Oh! Oh, what
Not
the?
enough for everyone. Sorry. Yeah, I am done. No wristband, no life. Y'all think I'm playing? Order in the court. I am leaving.
You can't leave. You just got here.
This place is disgusting. Nobody walks out on Goob Lagoon. This park is abandoned and full of nasty shit. Oh, my bad. Yeah, you right. Give me a second. Watch this.
Oh! Oh!
Bro,
Oh my god, dude, that is so
That's my
mean.
cue to leave. This place is nasty. I'm out. I'm done. I'm gone. No more pool. No more glizzies. Hold up. You paid for 72 hours. You are stuck here. And also, did you not see what I just did? Boom, morphed a fucking Gan. Holy shit, how?
Hey!
Wristbands, baby! Woo! Woo! Are you ready to go down some epic death slides? Oh, hell yeah! Cool, but before we do, Greg!
Oh no!
My eyes. I can't see, holy shit! I cannot feel my fucking face! This shit is way too high. I am way too high. Oh, Bigfoot, watch out! Okay, no, don't you do it! Always aura farming, no one likes you. What the fuck? Oh shit, oh shit, oh. Boom, morphed again. Oh. Are you okay? There is water inside my butt. I'm high as shit, I love this place.
Move it. Work harder. Wristbands front and center. No standings. Boom, morphed again, yo. That says I pooped in the pool.
Who sprayed this? Pressure wash this wall now. Move. I have to go to Kmart. I'll be back. Boom, morphed again. Chat, now that I am alone, I do not trust the owner. Something is off here. I just cannot figure it out.
Whoa!
Oh no, I got the cocaine farts. I need to shit.
Oh.
Boom, morphed again. Why is it dark out? It was just daytime. Oh shit, everything looks abandoned. I am tripping balls.
Lagoon, he will consume.
Oh God, look at their faces! Oh God! Oh, it's awful! Oh God!
Goob Lagoon, he will consume.
It's a Goob Lagoon cult. I have to get out of here.
They're fucking everywhere.
Silence, you goofy goobers, and do as I say. Do not let him leave. Or your
Bro, that 1x1 Lego block is it's doing its work.
Daddy is hungry.
He will consume.
Oh God.
Gifts from Greg. Welcome to 72 hours of hell. Use everything we got. Goob Lagoon sucks.
Oh! Oh!
You should really stop doing drugs.
Bro, the editing on this is phenomenal.
Try me, and I'll drown your ass. Bigfoot, did you know you are in the wave pool? What do you mean the wave pool? There are no waves.
There can be. Oh God! Oh God! Oh my God! Oh! Oh! That's a big boy right there. That's a big boy.
Good evening. Breaking news. Moments ago, eyewitness reports confirmed that Queso jumped a pool and now the entire world is underwater.
Dropping buckets.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, that was great. Oh, Jesus.
Coming. A pool and now the entire world.
Like in the kitchen chopping
Man, that music.
Oh man, I saw that coming.
That was a good video. W boom morphed again. Hell yeah. Okay, we got some Bigfoot vlog time. Trapped in Death Valley, California.
Just me risking my hairy life for your entertainment. Look at this. Again, Bigfoot, do skydiving.
Boom.
Y'all really want me turned into falling lasagna, huh?
Man, they sure do.
I will do it. If I die, it is on you. But at least you will get views.
Oh, cool. I'm trusting an Instagram ad with my life. What could
Well,
possibly
skydiving is not only scary, but rather expensive.
go wrong?
You know what's even more insane? Never thought I'd see the day where it's cheaper to get to go skydiving than it is to get a console.
Oh, yes, Skydive Airlines. Do y'all take hairy passengers who scream a lot?
Parachute, banana,
Right?
essential. Duct tape, lifesaver. Rubber chicken, don't ask.
Look at this.
You couldn't pay me. Well, I mean, I say that. If it's at the right dollar amount, I'd probably skydive. But I wouldn't do it by myself. I'd have to be strapped to somebody because I'd be shitting myself the whole way down, dude. There's no way.
Right. Am I skydiving or joining Fast and Furious 12? Bro, my first skydive, do y'all serve snacks or just panic attacks?
Probably both.
My stomach's doing backflips, but I ain't backing out. Viewers, you owe me cookies if I survive.
That's my ride?
Bro, that thing looks like a lawnmower with wings. Wow, looks safe. Nothing screams, trust us, like duct tape chairs. Not responsible
Right?
if Bigfoot becomes a
Yo, you
pancake?
walk up into an airline and
Yeah,
you see duct
seems
tape
fine. Where
holding
do I
chairs
sign?
together.
My
Leave.
thigh low weighs more than this suit. Who designed this, toddlers? Nope, not happening. My fur has better aerodynamics anyway. This is a Sasquatch, not a sausage. I can hear you watching and not subscribing. Hit subscribe, or I'll come and smash that button myself. Do I look like Top Gun or a bowling ball? Be honest.
Welcome to your ride, the perfect vehicle for a controlled plummet.
This plane looks like a flying lawnmower with wings, and I'm about to trust it with 7 feet of premium hair.
Bro, looks like he eats turbulence for breakfast. Please tell me you got a license from somewhere better than Craigslist. Oh, cool, we're higher than my data charges. Guess gravity's free though, right? Man's explaining straps like I'm about to survive on common sense. Sir, this parachute looks thinner than Taco Bell napkins.
If my fur
It probably
flaps off
is.
midair, somebody better sell it on eBay as authentic skydiving Sasquatch rug. Who turned on shake mode? I didn't order the roller coaster package. My stomach is already in another zip code. Nope. Lights should never be red on a plane unless it's a disco party.
What I'm telling you, man, you got doors flying off of planes and stuff? Nah, bruh.
Somebody grab seasoning, because this is about to be Bigfoot brisket.
Jump now, or it's over!
Every instinct says sit down, order pizza, and cry.
But fine, you guys want content? Here's content. If my butt cheeks flap off, bury them with honor. My eyelids are trying to leave my skull, and this is not the facelift I signed up for.
Why do I feel like a giant hairy chandelier? Somebody cut the lights, I'm dizzy. Hallelujah! The Taco Bell napkin W-orked! Mama Sasquatch, your boy is still airborne. Okay, this is actually kind of nice. Like Uber Black, but scarier and windier. Still prefer land.
Oh, God.
Well, there goes my dignity. From skydiver to cactus pancake in one roll.
That's it. First and last skydiving vlog. Congratulations, you almost witnessed my obituary.
This sun cooks faster than my uncle's busted grill. I'm officially a 7-foot rotisserie special. Viewers, this is Death Valley, where dreams go to dry out, and so does my left armpit.
My Fitbit's screaming stop, but my brain's screaming water. Spoiler, neither one's winning. Yep, the death buffet's open and I'm the main course. Someone hand me barbecue sauce to complete the set.
Oh, cool, free desert decor. Nothing says vacation vibes like bones and vultures.
Finally, Airbnb Desert Edition. I swear if this place charges resort fees, I'm burning it down.
Right?
Yep, totally not haunted. Just perfect vibes for a horror intro. Cue violins and regret.
Tell me y'all heard that? If the sand starts talking, I'm checking out.
Nope. Nature's playing chess with me, and I don't even know the rules.
Yeah, that's pretty normal. Oh, geez.
Wow, Death Valley Uber XL. Just missing cup holders and safety. Sunset's beautiful, if you ignore the part where coyotes rehearse their menu options.
Okay, now it's pitch black and my shadow's scaring me. This is premium nightmare fuel.
You ever been out in the woods when it's dark? Or like anywhere like in nature? It gets pretty spooky.
That's
There's
either
noises everywhere, and it's like quiet and ominous sometimes, and then really loud others.
Ghosts or Taco Bell aftermath. None of the three sound comforting.
Oh, fantastic! Death Valley just unlocked alien.
Bro, sometimes that like spookiness will have you questioning yourself. You know what I'm saying?
DLC.
Like
Somebody call
you're like, did I hear something? What was that? You get like really paranoid. You start hearing like the twigs cracking in the Oh,
I want a refund.
If Blair Witch had a desert cousin, congratulations. I'm starring in it right now. Are those people? Or am I auditioning for the ghost episode of Scooby-Doo?
could be both.
Every shadow looks like debt collectors. My soul's about to file for bankruptcy. I'm dehydrated.
Let's be honest here. With how many people you run into, with how many like evil spirits Bigfoot Vlog has run into, I don't think he has much of a soul left.
Scared and still making jokes. Someone better give me a medal for multitasking.
Well, he did. Oh no.
Where am I? Oh no, I'm in Death Valley, Nevada. I'm so thirsty, I feel like my soul is leaving my body.
Oh.
Hello? Amazon delivery? Yeah, I ordered water and not death. No way. This thing looks older than my grandma cable box.
Jesus.
Please still work. Hello? Oh. Rescue? Pizza guy? Anybody with AC and snacks?
Anyone with
Bigfoot.
AC and snacks.
Coordinates. Hot, scared, and stupid. Send help. Tell my fans, unsubscribe from desert travel packages.
Why the hell would you choose to go to a desert as a vacation? That sounds awful. I mean, maybe it's because I live in Texas, but that just sounds like not fun. I'd leave one hot, humid place to go to another hot, dry place. That just, no. Hey, they got him!
Flying Uber finally showed up.
Next time, remind me to just play video games instead of almost dying for views.
Want a custom shout-out, birthday wish, or roast for me?
Let's
Head to Cameo, link in the description today. I'll
go! Bigfoot vlog time. Check him out. Check him out. Let's go. What is this?
You all know that. By extension, Live Nation.
Hold on. Me and my squad leader on this mountain, pitch black. I was only following him for a sec. Then they opened fire on us. It was a training session. That's insane. I bet that spooked you out real hard. All right, let's get it.
Because Live Nation owns Ticketmaster. It's a huge...
Bro, Ticketmaster is one of the biggest... It's like one of the first scams to ever hit scamdom. Let's be honest.
Web that I've clowned on and insulted numerous times now. And I feel like everyone probably shares that same sentiment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ticketmaster is a freaking joke, bro.
I believe in every human being's soul there is a spot reserved purely for their hatred of Ticketmaster to reside. I'm sure everyone has their own experiences and horror stories here. It is just an absolute dog shit business model that is becoming worse and worse all the time.
Well, that's the problem, is when you don't have legislation and laws to fix this, it just keeps getting worse. And that's with everything. You have to put a deterrence on everything in order for it to stop.
And it's run by this! Bear witness! Worm person!
Oh, look, we have a face.
This is Michael Rapino, more like Michael Rapinor, because this man is just a giant fucking wiener. He is the CEO of Live Nation, Ticketmaster.
Oh, so it technically doesn't own it. He just runs the company. I want to make that very clear. He doesn't own it. He runs the company. There's most likely a group of 4 or 5 people, maybe more or less, that are behind the scenes. This guy's just the face of the company.
And recently, this is why I'm making this video, he went on to say he had the goal to claim ticket prices are actually underpriced.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, that seems to be the reoccurring theme with just about everything Like when game developers are like, oh, well, we need to charge more, or these companies, oh, we need to charge more. And it's like, why? People can barely afford it as it is. Why the hell would you want to go up? That doesn't make any sense. And then you got, like, it's always this mentality that is not, it's not an overnight mentality, it's an overtime mentality, meaning, oh, well, you know, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I honestly think that the prices should go up because I just don't have enough money in my account. What the hell are you spending all that money on, bro? Like, come on.
You know, I think music has been underappreciated. You know, I always joke, sports, it's like a badge of honor to spend 70 grand for a Knicks courtside. They beat me up if we charge 800 for Beyonce, right? You know, so it's a real, it's a very we have a lot of runway left, right? So when you read about the ticket prices going up, it's still, average concert price is $72. Try going to a Laker game for that, and there's 80 of them or whatever the hell. So the concert is underpriced, has been for a long time.
If that isn't the biggest,
it's not called being underpriced. It's called being affordable. That's what it is. It's called being affordable, so that way you can sell more tickets and fill the chairs. It's like every company's trying to cater to whales at this point. They want to cater to the person that's just going to hemorrhage money to them. It's kind of disgusting.
This load of fish paste, what in tarnation, brother? Holy moly. There's so much to insult with this statement. Like, I don't even know where to begin. If you have been to any concerts or shows over the last, let's say, 10 years.
And what's even more sad is that a lot of them just aren't worth going to anymore. Because a lot of the newer styles of music, they just sound so different in person than they do whenever they have auto-tune, like literally carrying most of their music, their singing. Now, there are a handful that don't, but it feels like that gap is becoming more and more covered with auto-tune every day.
Years. You've probably noticed a trend where it's getting more and more and more and more expensive. The biggest complaint you will see anytime there is a concert is people talking about how they're priced out from attending it. Even the biggest fans can oftentimes not afford to go to it, or maybe they can only get like the nosebleeds or something, which isn't usually even worth the price.
I've been to a few concerts. I went and seen both of these were with two X's, but I went and I went to a Warped Tour concert once. That was pretty cool. I liked walking around to all the different things and then, you know, watching a bunch of bands. And then there was Florence and the Machines. That one was okay. We sat out on the grass over in Houston, and that was kind of nice. But it just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem the same.
Pay for that, because also that is often expensive too. And they get away with this because they have fundamentally a monopoly when it comes to live performances, live shows like this. And there's always the huge issue with scalping, which almost seems encouraged.
That is another huge problem. Scalping is such a huge problem in today's society. At this point, they should just make it illegal. Like, straight up, like, the scalping is so bad. People getting into fistfights for everything just so they could take it and then sell it. Like, I don't understand. I mean, I get why, but it's just such a stupid... It's so scummy.
Ticketmaster, at least historically it used to. I don't know if it's as bad as it once was. I haven't noticed it to the degree I did a few years ago, so maybe they...
It has gotten better. Even with, like, Pokemon cards and a bunch of Magic cards, it has gotten better, sure. But I feel like it's just a Band-Aid. They'll find new ways.
Started to fucking put the nipple clamps on it and twist to try and stop that a bit. But since they do still have this monopoly, they still have, of course, like, fees and also just an exorbitant price tag on attending these shows. Because they can. You don't have, like, an alternative to get the tickets or anything.
What else does this goop
Do
have to
not
say?
get good value, even when you do spend a lot of money going to these concerts, because everything is so fucking expensive.
It is. Well, like, and then they want to... Again, it can be circled back to the gaming industry. How the gaming developers are like, well, we should start charging more. But here's the thing. is that you're getting less value for your money than you did 30 years ago. Because the games that were being released 30 years ago, you didn't have a massive group of people that were what is essentially burned out from seeing the same copy and paste, but you also didn't have a bunch of developers that were using copy and paste. You had a bunch of developers that were trying to make games that they wanted to play because they wanted to enjoy something that would be fun. You didn't have this huge, big business mentality of, let's see how much money we can shovel into the mouths of the corporate box office today. It's like a whole different, it's like a warped sense of mentality.
So I think his take on this is complete trash. Complete trash. But he does say something during this event that
like the value that you get for your dollar is just, it's so much different now than it was back then. Like used to, like I remember my mom used to get like $300 in food stamps, and you would be able to fill up like 2 carts of groceries and still have money left over. And now like $200 is like maybe 50 items if you're lucky. If you're lucky.
I think is an important thing to mention in regards to how important shows are to the artists.
Well, the live show is, become, the artist is going to make 98% of their money from the show.
And this guy's not even considering like the crowd of people that have to go in there. It's sweaty, it's hot. Sometimes it's indoors, sometimes it's outdoors. And you got to deal with like a whole bunch of people pushing, shoving, and all the damn noise. Like, of course, then again, that might just be
label,
me.
All the other ways they made money is irrelevant now. The show is where they're making their money.
Now, in this section, he is actually correct. He did pin the tail on the donkey here. Record labels take the lion's share of what an artist makes, or what a band, group, whatever makes. I have heard
you don't have to do that anymore. You can do the same thing on YouTube. You can do literally the exact same thing on YouTube. Like, for example, Kai Cenat over the weekend, he had, oh God, what is their name? Oh man, they did a bunch of covers for the Transformers movies. Oh my God, Linkin Park. So apparently Linkin Park is back together. I didn't know that, but they did some songs on his stream over the weekend, like the actual band, and apparently it did really well.
Some, what I believe to be, or should be, criminal contracts in the record industry where they will take sometimes like 90% of like streaming revenue, record sales, merch sales, that kind of thing, and thus the band needs to survive off just tours alone because that's where they make their actual money. The record label makes the rest through them on other things. They only see like a small percentage of it. It's fucking terrible. The music industry itself is so unbelievably corrupt. Ticketmaster.
I mean, look at the movie industry too. Like, you see that Diddy's pretty much getting off with all the stuff he did. Did he do it or did he not? You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like the foundations of everything are built on such slimy people that, I don't know, when you pull back the curtain, you just want to put the curtain right back over it. So it's no surprise to me that this moron thinks that people should be paying more money for less.
Just a small component of that. But he is right. The actual shows, that is the most important part to the money that an artist brings in, which I believe is also contributing to the increase in ticket prices. Not always solely Ticketmaster, but there are cases where groups or artists have knowingly increased their prices as well, and like even agreed to like the surge pricing type shit, the like dynamic pricing model.
I don't really, I'm gonna pause it right here. I don't really think we need to see much more of this. I got one thing to say to that. And it's not malicious.
He thinks that because this is like the main revenue merger was.
So like, the big problem that I can see with this is until they have laws that prohibit how much you can charge somebody for something, which I don't think we're ever going to see. We'll see the entire internet get online ID before we see laws that protect consumers in the U.S. That's just an unfortunate fact. And there's a good chance that if online ID is successful enough and it censors the internet enough, we may never see online, I'm sorry, we may never see consumer protection laws hit the US. Because I mean, it starts the road to hell is paved on good intentions. It starts with, well, we've got to censor the internet because of the kids. Okay, well, great. Now that we've censored the internet, there's no longer kids on it. Let's go ahead and censor certain words, keywords, phrases, and that way we can, shut those people down and continue to grow our businesses. And there you go, But what I'm trying to say is these companies, they don't typically just go to for example, Ticketmaster, they won't just go to a singer and be like, hey, why don't you charge more? And then that way you'll cover your surge costs. And surge costs are kind of like inflation. You know what I'm saying? It's that thing that rich people like to say is the reason why everything's costing more. But if you're getting a product and you're going out of your way to get a product made cheaper and brought into the US at a cheaper value in bulk quantities because they're at a discount, why is it, now keep this in mind, why is it that inflation exists if everything you're doing is cheaper? You're building houses cheaper, you're getting products to doors cheaper, but somehow, not only is it not going down, it's increasing in value for the consumer. You don't find that as a big red flag right there? Odd, isn't it? And you're barely paying your your employees enough to like live on. You see the big problem there? There's no end to it until there are laws that protect consumers, and I just don't see it happening. I just don't. Let's see. So this I've been wanting to cover for about a week now, not realizing that this came out. Check out Shoe on Your Head. Please don't strike my video, please. This is about Kirk.
Was giving a talk at Utah Valley University, and out of nowhere he was shot dead live in front of a bunch of many different
we already know this.
Stoning gays and black
If
women.
you don't know, if you've been living under a rock like Patrick Starr, Charlie Kirk was a singer. Yeah, he was a singer. Of course. He was a talker. He was I don't really know what you would call him. I know he was a content creator, but a communicator? I don't know. He'd go out to colleges and he would ask people to come up to the mic, and then they could, have an actual conversation. And, he got shot and killed for exercising his freedom of speech.
Men are too stupid to be pilots, but guess what? Both those things, the two most popular quotes people are posting to justify this guy being murdered, are out of context. But idiots like
that's exactly what they did with the First Amendment. Whenever I kept, for example, you guys were here whenever I had to pull that guy up and ask him what he thought the First Amendment says, and then I pulled it up in a different tab and showed him what the First Amendment says. Everyone likes to take things out of context and not use he used, I don't even know how he's not the only one. Other people have been wording it in the comments that I made about Charlie Kirk or what happened. And everyone seems to overlook that in the First Amendment, it says peaceably to assemble. Advocating for death and violence is not peaceably assembling anything. It's advocating for death and violence. And in the instance of it being political, it makes it terrorism. Think about what you're doing and read before you just spew out nonsense.
Ran with it, then later had to apologize for spreading misinformation about it.
So he did actually say something. You see, that's weird, because the one that I saw of Stephen King, he said that he didn't, and that someone had did it, it was falsified information.
Man. These people will build a straw man of you in their minds. They get so fucking mad about it that they celebrate the real you dying. horrifying. But more importantly, even if everything was in context, who cares? Oh, he said this. Oh,
No one deserved to die because of what they said. That's the problem. No one deserves to die because of his viewpoints. That's the whole reason why the First Amendment was the very first pillar of the American rights.
he said this. I don't care. There are many things he said that I disagree with.
I agree. I absolutely agree with what she just said. There were a lot of things I didn't like about it either. But that doesn't mean he deserved to die.
Things he said that
Good
I think
Lord.
are bad. Who cares? It is just a fact that nothing he said warranted his life being taken away. This is America. We have freedom of speech here. Unless you criticize a certain country, but
I can't tell you how many comments of people were like, what do you mean, Allie? What do you mean, what is this with dying? What do you mean? I don't know what? Charlie Kirk, the death of Charlie Kirk. He was assassinated on the stage. Oh, she's talking about Charlie Kirk and how he was assassinated. I haven't got that far into the video. She's still trying to cover the very beginning segments of it.
for the most part, we have freedom of speech here. So after detaining...
Well, she is saying the freedom of speech. I do know she's saying that. Because we just got on that. This is a 23-minute video. We're only 3 minutes in.
Not just one wrong guy, but two wrong guys. The FBI finally got the shooter. Only because his own father turned him in. I guess they were just too fucking busy not releasing the Epstein files to catch a political assassin. It was this fuck-ass demon, Tyler Robinson. 22 years old. Another irony-poisoned Reddit shooter who wrote a bunch of memes on the bullets, including, "Hey fascist catch," and
notices bulges, capital O-W-O, what's this question mark?
I fucking hate it here. A lot of people were saying that the shooter was a groiper, which is a far-right fan of the streamer Nick Fuentes, and I have no fucking idea where that came from. I'm gonna be so honest, I have seen no actual proof of this.
That's the problem that I've noticed a lot as well, is a lot of people are just throwing allegations on both sides and just further putting wood on this gas fire and making it burn even brighter before they even check to make sure their facts are right. That's why, like, if you go to the videos, like, what really sucks is the Kirk videos did fairly well, but I've had to remove a lot of comments because of a lot of just straight up false information that people were putting down in my comments, and I'm just like, no. Like, if and it's not just I see it and I remove it. I'll be like, okay, is this person actually speaking the truth? Let me look it up. Let me try to dig around. And then an hour later, the comment's just gone. And I'm like, well, you can't spread misinformation because it's wrong. And I honestly think that if you have a YouTube channel and you don't remove comments that remove false information or misinformation, you are not helping the situation in any way.
And it doesn't make sense because someone further right than Charlie Kirk wouldn't call Charlie Kirk a fascist, and they wouldn't say he was hateful. Their proof is that the shooter once dressed up like the Slav squat meme from 2012, and they also found a separate meme of Pepe the Frog dressed like the Slav squat meme. Therefore, the shooter is a groiper. That is like seeing a photo of the shooter dressed like a clown and then
She deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is all.
I think that it's wonderful that the people that did things like this, that cheered after he had died, I think it's a good thing they lost their jobs. They didn't want to be an active member in society anyway, right? So it's a good thing they did that. At least not in the US. Like, it makes me sick to my stomach to think that firefighters got removed from their positions because they cheered for the death of somebody. You realize that as an EMT, as a paramedic, as a firefighter, as a person who's supposed to save somebody's lives, that if you had gotten the call to run up there and save Kirk's life and you refused to do so because you felt a type of way about what he was saying, you do not deserve to be in the position that you are in.
Right.
Yo, they got Charlie Kirk, bro. I've never been happier.
Never believe the reason I'm smiling. And it has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. Nothing to do with...
I would say pour one out for Kirky Boy, but I don't waste good beer on little bitches.
Rest in peace, bozo!
Charlie Kirk just got put down like a fucking dog in Utah.
I do not, and I will not, ever feel bad when bad people get what the fuck they deserve.
I just heard that someone shot...
You know, I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. You want to advocate for death and violence? Damn, it sucks that you lost your job for you.
Kirk? Thoughts and prayers.
Oh no, someone shot Charlie Kirk. Look, I don't know who needs to hear this today, but that's how you pick up a woman.
Homie dead! Fuck your homie dead! Fuck your homie dead!
Oh, I remember seeing this clip. She ended up getting arrested. She got arrested because she assaulted the guy that was holding up the sign.
I heard someone got shot today. I had a tummy ache this morning. Stay alive out there.
You realize that by Charlie Kirk being assassinated and it being a political reason and you cheering it on means that if somebody were to get on stage that talked about the things that you liked to hear and they got assassinated, that you're trying to make something that should not even exist in the US become a thing, because the more people that get involved in this and cheer this on, the less and less likely it is that we will be keeping the First Amendment right. Even if it's there, what's the point of it being there if you're going to have people doing this? The First Amendment isn't there to protect people like her. It's there to protect people like Charlie Kirk or Donald Trump or Kamala Harris or Biden or Bernie Sanders. That's who the First Amendment protects, because their rights to say what people don't like to hear. Like, if Bernie Sanders got on stage and wanted to take a percentage of every single corporation that is in America that makes over a certain amount and put that percentage in a big, nice, fat check and send it out to every American every single first of the month, the corporations cannot kill him because it's against the law in the First Amendment. Even if the law hasn't even been passed, he's talking about things that the corporations don't like. That's why it's a thing. And you sitting here cheering it on like it's the Wild West. Like, what are you doing?
The sympathy for Charlie Kirk is f***ing weird. You don't have to like violence, but I'm confused as to how you thought the revolution was going to be magically bloodless.
I've been saying we need to bring back political assassinations. I don't feel bad, and I don't think that everyone deserves the right to free speech. I think some people should be afraid to express their opinion in public.
I didn't like what he said, and I didn't like his opinions, and I don't really give a shit that he's dead.
The best part of this whole goddamn thing is that he is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no one. It will impact few. It's just great.
There are a lot of people that are like, no matter what side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to someone.
For example, so you know the recent shooting that happened at the ICE facility in Dallas? Ted Cruz went up onto the stage and talked about how this needs to stop, all this rhetoric towards both sides. It stops because people stop using these calls to violence this misinformation, because like the calls to violence is what starts the spread of this misinformation just to justify the reason for these people die. Like it could have been anybody on the stage, and it could have been anybody. Could have been anybody on the stage that got shot. But it wasn't. It just so happened to be Kirk. Could have been Kamala. Could have been anybody. This whole, like, if you justify the death of somebody, who's to say that sword isn't double-sided? If you want to stab somebody and then you trip and fall on your own sword because now you've got the other side doing the same thing, you can't have, that's total anarchy. That's not how a country functions. That's wrong. You can't just justify the death of certain people. It just, no. Because who's to say it's not going to happen to you? It's like if you start robbing from rich people and you want to make a law that says that you can't be arrested because you want to rob from rich people. Well, who's to say someone's not going to make a law that says that it's okay for them to rob from you? Anyone can justify anything, but there are laws in place to make sure that the people who actually do wrong go to jail. It just, I don't understand how you can justify this. This needs to stop being allowed. Freedom of speech is freedom of speech, but to say and celebrate it on social media is wrong. And I agree. It fuels it. All it does is feed an already really out of control fire. And then allowing people to get on these social media platforms and advocate for death and violence, like saying that somebody needs to die or something, that's not freedom of speech. That is a form of terrorism. That is that's politically charged, incredibly high motivated calls to violence. Which, by the way, if you're unaware, it's terrorism. It doesn't matter what side it's coming from. I don't give a shit about whose side what anybody's on. I'm not on either. I think they're both clowns. They're both a joke. Both the candidates that we had to choose from were a joke. That's why I never chose. Because I'm tired of playing a game that everyone's rigged to lose at. But that doesn't mean someone deserved to die.
On the other hand, do cheer.
It's going to keep happening to either. Luigi wasn't politically charged. Luigi was not politically charged. Luigi had problems with his health. I agreed with everything Luigi was saying, but that does not give you the right to kill somebody. It does not. Yeah, but that doesn't mean people deserve to die. This isn't Iraq. Like, we're not in World War II anymore. We're a civilized society. Trying to say that killing somebody is normal is absolutely absurd and disgusting. It's immoral. It makes, there's no logic there. There's no actual sense of self-preservation because somebody can justify it to do it to you. It's not. I'm not talking about the Iraq War. I'm talking about, like, living in Iraq. Fine. Here's a better example. It's not the Wild West anymore. The Wild West is it never worked. Apparently we are not civilized, or some of us, because this is not an action of people with a heart. I agree, like, it doesn't matter where you're at in the world. If you're taking somebody's life, like, he got killed in front of his family. His daughter watched him die, expressing his First Amendment right as an American. Like,
Here when bad things happen to bad people.
Charlie Kirk just got shot. I saw the video before they even put out the confirmation. There was no chance that he made it through that. This wasn't the one we were hoping.
It does. Tech and the AI boom is. It doesn't matter what is doing what. We are built on democracy. What does every democracy require? It requires you to come to the table and talk about what you want. You know what a dictatorship is? Look at what Vladimir Putin does to his oh my God, to the media. Look at what he does to the media. He makes the news people that make the papers and stuff, they disappear. He sends them to rehabilitation camps where they later die. Look at what happens to his political opponents. He makes them disappear. This isn't a dictatorship, brother. This is a democracy. And the very pillars that make our democracy are being torn apart by the advocacy of violence on the internet. You cannot do this. It's wrong.
For, but a welcome surprise nonetheless.
It seems like you're kind of in between. I'm not really sure. I mean, you're right, but like, yeah, it's the same thing with North Korea. You're right, Nigel. It is the same thing with. If you're wondering who the hell else, so like, I've got two streams on my channel right now. I've got the shorts, like the vertical, like whatever the hell stream, and then I've got the normal stream, and I've got like two chats, and then I've got Kick and Twitch, but neither one of those are doing anything. So, like, I've got two different conversations going on right now that you guys don't see each other, and it's kind of funny. But like, I got Matthew on one side, and then I got Nigel on the other, and you guys are like, Matthew's getting kind of like in between. He was more like, I guess you've been kind of consistent with yours. I was wondering if I was gonna have to ban you, but you're not saying anything that's crazy, so I'm gonna let you stay. But just don't do any rhetoric or anything, and you're good, man. But so far, good conversation. Good conversation.
And I'm surprised that you guys aren't getting rid of more people. Like, don't stop with him. Don't let him be the end dog. Get rid of them all. His wife deserves to go too. Y'all keep on talking about his wife and kids. They need to go too. Because
Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? That's insane. Bro, she over here talking about, well, her husband's dead, so just go ahead and kill her and the kids too. What the fuck? Man, oh man. That's insane. What a nasty little worm.
carrying on that mentality and that lineage, like, get rid of the whole family. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Why?
You know, I love it when people act like this and they don't really think about the big picture. What's insane is that whenever they made Charlie Kirk a martyr, they unlocked 7 more just like him. When you do this, it's just like the terrorist attacks on 9/11. Funny enough, it was the day before the 9/11 terrorist attacks. You see the American spirit glow ever brighter whenever you advocate for this kind of stuff. Whenever you want to put down this mentality and you do it by assassinating them, or you try to, you make that mentality grow and spread, and you lose people that were originally on your side. When they start seeing people getting killed in front of their family, and then you've got more people advocating for the family's death, come on now.
Why did you guys stop with him?
There were thousands of videos like that. Some of these people posting with their full names and faces, with
Idiots.
hundreds and thousands of likes. Thousands of tweets celebrating it, with 500,000 likes. And it's important to remember that all of those likes are a real person. Millions of people in this country apparently believe the acceptable response to speech they don't like is murder. This wasn't just a bunch of fringe blue hair SJWs or whatever. They were teachers, professors, doctors,
Yep.
HR workers, healthcare workers,
I
nurses.
imagine it was a lot of HR workers. Because, you know, they've got so much to complain about.
Pediatricians, people who work with kids, people's classmates, roommates. They are teachers showing our children the gory, horrifying video of Charlie's murder on repeat. The hippy-dippy "in this house we believe" shitlib mask was ripped off, and underneath was nothing but psychopathic bloodlust. I have seen people on the right celebrate the death of people they disagree with. I've seen it. I remember Heather Heyer in 2017. But I also remember the whole internet, left and right, coming together to disavow and mock the few dozen people from Stormfront who were celebrating her death. This is different. It's never been like this before. It's never been this much.
It's never been this politically charged. That's why. That's the primary reason right there, is because, like, it's so politically charged right now. It just one thing can set off a civil war.
It's never been this brazen. Normal people have to log into like an alternate Twitter account,
Yeah,
where they can post their more unorthodox opinion.
and you know why that is because they think that they're going to be on the right side of history. Oh, welcome back, blank page. Like, you don't, it's kind of like a cult. When you start following them, it's all fine up until the punch gets passed around with the poison in it, you know? And then it kind of hits you of, oh my God, what did I sign up for? That's kind of the mentality that some of these people have, and then they realize, oh my, I messed up. And it's sad and sick to see this, but a lot of these people, they're not just doing it to prove a point. They're trying to they're doing it for clout, honestly. They're doing it for internet clout. They're clout goblins. And they think that by liking this, that they're going to go down in the history books if everything blows over in their direction, like it's okay. But it's not. It's going to go down as political terrorism, or it's going to go down as terrorism because it has to be political in order for it to be terrorism.
And these people are out here, full face, full name, like, hell yeah, murder. What? The smug, unearned confidence these people have to be openly sociopathic with their full name and face, because they live—
I do too. I love, like, debating with people. Just keep it friendly, dude. We don't need to curse. We don't need to act like a fool. We like, if you could prove me wrong, then by all means do it. But, like, that's the whole point of a democracy. Let's discuss it. Like, let's do it. I don't want to sit here and advocate for death and violence. It's just awful. Like, I love discussion. Let's talk about it. Let's get some logic in here. Let's do some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
The illusion of being on the right side of history needs to end. They will blame you for your death because words are violence. Words are violence, so them killing you is just self-defense. That's why they're using Kyle Rittenhouse as some kind of gotcha.
Jesus.
Oh, if you don't condone political violence, why do you support Kyle Rittenhouse? They fundamentally don't see the difference between killing someone over speech and killing someone over self-defense, because these are the same things to them. Also, I'm going to be the one to point it out, because of course I am. I saw nobody else do it. Why are most of them women? Most of the people celebrating are women. Like, it's a good, like, 80-20 ratio all over
It's the same style of people that you always see out, like, doing the protests and stuff. They've always got, like, something on their face, like tattoos, nose piercings. Their ears are all, like, pierced to hell and back. Like,
what is going on, ladies? Basically, the whole country is shook because last year they realized how many people would celebrate the murder of a president, and this year they realized how many people would celebrate the murder of them. At the end of the day, this is all the inevitable conclusion of the punch a Nazi thing from like 2017. Do you guys remember that? We always knew it was a slippery slope. That's why we were against it. And they always say this dumb shit like, if you don't want to be called a Nazi, stop being a Nazi. Even a congressman from my state, New York, was like, oh, if you want to stop being called a fascist, you should stop being a fascist.
Or you should just stop using the word fascist and Nazi. Like, especially if you're on if you're on a televised program like MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, I don't know, anything like that, you shouldn't be calling your political opponents fascist or Nazis. Because that's what's inciting this right here. Doesn't matter what side they're on. You can't be a fascist and you can't be a Nazi. It's literally not possible. Nazis are, the Nazi regime is over with, and the stuff that they did have nothing to do with current society. The stuff that they did would have you mortified, because there is stuff that they did that they won't put in textbooks that you read in school. And I think that that could be the reason why people seem to want to call everybody a Nazi. But they're not. They're not fascist and Nazis. You can't act like somebody who you know who acts like a Nazi? People that are advocating for the death of Kirk. You know why that is? Because whenever you want to sit here and you want to say, well, I'm happy he's dead, think about what the Nazis did. Think about what the Nazis did to the millions of Jews. Think about how they put them in gas chambers. They would take their rings off and put it in a big pile of rings. There were mounds of wedding rings that were melted down to fund their war cause while their fucking owners were being gassed in a chamber. Who in that scenario is the real Nazi? Like, that doesn't even make any sense, and I'm just going to remove your comment because you're stupid. What an idiot, dude. Jesus. And don't act like it. No, literally nobody can act like a Nazi nowadays. It's not possible. You don't know what that is. If you're calling somebody a Nazi, you don't know what a Nazi is. Just like if you're saying, well, you know, I love you, I'm protecting my freedom of speech by saying, you know, go kill somebody. That's not what freedom of speech is.
Everyone and their mother a fascist and a Nazi for the past like 15 years. And I see a lot of progressives in my audience like, shoo, you're not like Charlie Kirk. You're not a fascist. Here are all the things I have been called Nazi, fascist, reactionary for over the last few years. Would you like to see? I have been making this list since 2023. Let's go. Let's just read this together real quick. Mocking/criticizing pop feminism. Believing adults can do whatever they want. Being pro-free speech. Being liberal. Talking to people I
Called not racist or reactionary over.
I disagree with. Being friends with people I disagree with.
There's so much going on. It's not even, there's so much going on with, because that's really what they use these platforms for, like MSNBC, CNN, Fox, like, it's all divisive and it's used to politically charge anything. It like, anything, dude.
People on Twitter I disagree with. Supporting Bernie Sanders. That one came from the right. Being registered independent.
Like, for example, they had a guy that was talking on Fox, and he tried to politically charge Luigi's, Luigi Mandalone into something he wasn't. He didn't do it for political reasons. He killed the CEO of a company because he couldn't get the medical help he needed. I think that I understand where he got the idea from, but it all ends once you go out and kill somebody. You can feel any type of way you want, but when you advocate for death and violence, you don't just hurt the people that are dead, that, you know, like, because he's dead, he killed the CEO. You hurt the future of the nation, because the more rich people you go out and hurt or kill, especially if you try to politically charge it, the more rights are going to be taken away from Americans. You're crying that we don't have freedom of speech because you can't advocate for death and violence on a platform. But let's see how much you cry when not only do they take it away, but you have the FBI knocking on your door and arresting you for saying you want to kill and hurt somebody because of a new law or amendment that was either put in or taken out.
Criticizing Joe Biden, criticizing the Democratic Party, not being attracted to feminine men.
I agree. If you take a life that is free, you no longer have a life. We need to bring back like actual like work camps. If you want to go out and kill somebody, you can spend the rest of the life that you took paying it off for society, making and putting cars together for free. 100%. That's exactly how I feel.
Hating men in general, criticizing Canada's MAID program, not taking the COVID vaccine, criticizing the FBI, criticizing the CIA, believing the CIA...
Oh, but what about their life and their rights? Well, they didn't think about the person's lives and rights that they took. So why should I care about their life and their rights? They took someone else's life. You forfeit your own, because that person would have been a contributing member to society. We got to stop thinking about these people that want to hurt people and kill people. We got to start thinking about the people that do right by society, that pay their taxes, that don't go out and actively seek violence and death. Like, this is insane.
Using an American flag backdrop for my videos, saying elites, saying working class, saying based, making a joke about Joe Biden eating ice cream, making a joke about Pete Buttigieg being born in a test tube, making jokes in general, being cis, being white, being a woman, being a cis white woman, telling someone to take a shower, not being anti-gun, not being fat, being monogamous, liking Huey Long, celebrating the 4th of July, supporting Assange, criticizing the movie Cuties, praising the movie...
No, you see, like, the word Nazi, it's not really... When you use Nazi as slang to call somebody a name, it loses any meaning that it has. If you're just slinging the word Nazi around like dumbass, for example, it means nothing. It's used so much that it just lost all meaning that it had, even though its meaning is the reason why we are what we are today as Americans.
Sound of Freedom, being against pedophilia, being against the destigmatization of pedophilia, being against children watching porn, being critical of kink at Pride, being against children performing at drag shows, not being racist, I swear to God, being a class reductionist, saying biological sex, mocking
Nazi. And you know what kind of Nazi is the best Nazi? A dead one.
I am a better person than you for celebrating the death of a Nazi. And actually, it's pretty weird that you're not, and simultaneously asking people to have empathy for the Nazi.
Nazis have children and families, right? But Nazis also get shot.
I'm going to say the same thing that I said to the jackass that got into my comments, or not in my comments, in my stream, and said, and asked me what I think the First Amendment says. I'm going to tell you something. Why don't you look it up and tell me what it says? Why don't you look up what a Nazi is and tell me if any of those characteristics that happened in World War II have anything to do with what's going on today? Is that one? What was... It's been so long. Hold on. It couldn't have been that long ago. When was the Nazi war? Rise to power. Well, its rise to power was in 1920, but when did World War II actually like start? Like when was it proclaimed? When was there's a date for that, yeah. So 1939. Yeah, that's far enough away. That's what, 2 generation of people? Easily? It makes sense why they're using that word the way they're using it. Especially with the textbooks being as censored as they are. Like, if you look up, if you, actually, better yet, you want to actually, like, experience something, go to, like, the museum. There's actually a museum where you can go and see that kind of stuff. It, like, you have people that actually sit down and talk with you and stuff at the museum that were part of World War, like, part of the concentration camps that the Nazis had, in the scorched earth that they put forward during the end of World War II. Yeah, like, it's just, that's what happens whenever you have history, but you don't have the in-depth history of what really happened. And it just kind of blows my mind that these people, instead of actually fact-checking themselves, are so ready to get on social media just to get some internet clout. Because that's what this really boils down to. Because they figure that if big media TV shows are doing it, then they can do it. And that's the problem. Is that you got all these people doing it.
In the neck.
And
They
nobody...
don't kill you because you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they can kill you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, I'm going to talk about my personal feelings.
They're justifying it. That's what they're doing. But who's to say that someone couldn't justify killing you? It's the circle that just keeps spinning. It has to end.
A lot of you can relate. I know a lot of you have been feeling the exact same way, so I will try and put it into words for you. I have friends who were friends with Charlie Kirk, but I didn't personally know him. We follow each other on Twitter. I've been to the TPUSA Amerifest in 2021. I actually went there planning to make a video making fun of it, but I had so much fun and met so many friends that I'm still friends with to this day. So that video never happened. I disagreed with him all the time. You can literally go to our Twitter interactions. I was always...
Yeah, like, no, like, I didn't agree with some of the stuff he said either. But I'm never gonna advocate for someone to get killed.
Correcting him about, like, Bernie Sanders. I made an egg look like his face. It's safe to say I was no fan. But this has really shaken me in a way that I absolutely did not expect. These last few days after what happened, I kept going to every single, like, lefty, liberal, left-wing person I know and, like, checking out what they have been saying about this. And besides maybe, like, 4 or 5, every single one was being an unhinged psychopath about this. Or saying some backhanded shit like, this is why we need gun control, which, first of all...
You do realize that if you advocate for gun control, for example, you have so we did a video a couple days ago where a student was able to sneak a knife past a $4 million security system, past the teachers, and stabbed a student in America. Okay, better example. I think it was... Where was it at? In what country was the political person killed by a makeshift weapon? Shinzo Abe. There was the former prime minister of Japan. A guy had made a, like, makeshift weapon and killed the former prime minister. They don't even allow guns there. Bro had to make it out of, like, I don't even know, like, tubes and stuff. The only people that gun control would protect are political leaders. Them advocating against gun control is good, because if they take your guns and they decide that they're going to use the military to enforce their laws like a dictatorship, guess what? You don't have a way to defend yourself, dumbass. You don't want political leaders to advocate for gun control. That's bad. How's it going, AI video maker?
We were just watching a whole bunch of people celebrate killing someone over political differences. You are never taking our guns now. That is not happening. I felt like I was in the middle of the ocean. I was trying to like grasp onto a flotation device, checking all of these accounts for their take, like, be normal, be normal. Nothing. Nobody. I'm just drowning in a sea of evil, apparently. Maybe I was just blind up until now. Maybe they changed. Maybe I changed. Is everyone going crazy, or am I going crazy? I don't know.
Because you notice that the backlash for the death of Charlie Kirk was the people advocating for death cheering, and the people on the other side, I guess you could say the Republicans or whatever the fuck, they went to like stadiums and they prayed and they didn't advocate for death. And and online people went out of their way to make sure the people that cheered Kirk's death lost their jobs. You see the difference in these two sides. The difference is massive. And you make one side look way better than the other whenever you act like a fool and you advocate for this kind of violence and rhetoric. You look like a fool. And you lose people.
It is clear how they reacted to this is how they would react to me, my family, my friends.
Exactly.
You, my family.
Exactly. And that's why people were losing their jobs. Because it could be anybody up on that stage. That's what you don't understand. What if it was the other side saying this? And then, I don't know, freaking Joe Biden got capped. I don't fucking know. And he's dead and he's died in front of his family. I'd be like, oh, this ain't right at all. It's like, I don't care which side did it. The thing is you can't do this. There can't be a country where you can advocate for death and violence.
Your friends that have ever stepped out of line from the nebulous, ever-changing definition of progressive. These are people I thought were level-headed. They were left-wing, but you know, like, they were one of the good ones. Like, you can joke with them, you know, they weren't those, like, woke SJWs. Like, they were cool, we can disagree and still be friends. You know. Your friend wouldn't celebrate you being murdered, of course. But if they would celebrate an exact clone of you that wasn't you, that had all the same opinions, or some of the opinions that you have.
No, I don't do animations.
Being murdered.
Ever since I got a copyright strike for looking at an animation, I don't do animations anymore. Oh shit. Give me a second. Okay, sorry about that.
They're not your friend.
It was
I'm
a
friends
doctor's
with people who are friends with Charlie, and I see how they are completely broken about this. Seeing them like this, and then at the same time my other friends posting shit like, "Rip Bozo." It's just sick. It's just sick shit. Personally, I would rather live in a world full of Charlie Kirks who would sit down and debate than a world full of people who agree with me but would murder people who don't. Because
Yep.
if it's now normalized to just murder people who disagree with you politically, we don't have a society. Like, that's it. It's over. But some of these people in particular, like, why the f*** are you celebrating? You! They think you're a f***ing Nazi too. They'll make a nice compilation of all the hot takes you've had over the years and spread
Yup.
it around to justify your murder.
Yup.
You don't get it, do you?
Yup.
We're all Charlie.
That's literally what I was just saying. That's literally what I was just saying at the beginning of this. They will do that. You can you can always find a way to justify anything, but that doesn't make it right.
I have been doing this for 11 years. I have been harassed, doxxed, threatened, whatever, you name it, for 11 years by the left. And it hasn't moved me an inch because that's not how politics works. That's lunch table politics. I've talked about this before. People on your side being mean to you doesn't mean you overnight change your opinions on, like, healthcare. It doesn't work that way. I still have all my economic left opinions. I'm for strong social safety nets, workers' rights, unions, wealth caps, whatever. That has not changed. This is not me leaving the left because, frankly, I don't even know how to do that. This is me and many, many people looking around us at our so-called allies and realizing that even though we might share some, like, political opinions, we fundamentally do not have the same values or morals. And are we really allies if we agree on, like, taxes, but don't agree on the sanctity of human life?
Yep.
I don't know. The way we view...
She's absolutely right. That's why people lost their jobs, is because if you get online and you cheer this, then who's to say that wasn't me? Who's to say that wasn't, like, your parents? Who's to say that wasn't you? Shit, I don't want to be friends or know somebody that's going to cheer that. That's crazy. But I've been meaning to watch this one for a minute now. And, man, was it worth. W video by Shoe on Head. Great video. She's always got, like, really good videos. She's always really good. Here we go. We got that deadly church shooting that happened in Michigan. Oh, crap. I wanted to... Damn it. Hold on. Here we go.
We begin with Madeline Rivera with the latest on that horrific attack in Michigan. Maddie.
Good morning, guys. That's right. Local police say they're working around the clock trying to find more bodies because, unfortunately, as of last night, there were some people still unaccounted for. The attack happened yesterday morning at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan.
Now we got church shootings. Like, what the hell? Church shootings. Who shoots up a freaking church, man?
Again, hundreds of people were inside worshiping when police say the gunman rammed his car into the front doors. Authorities say he got out of the car and started shooting before officers arrived and exchanged fire with him, killing him. Police say the gunman deliberately set the church on fire. It was engulfed in flames for a couple of hours, and unfortunately, it is a total loss. In addition to the shooting and fire, Michigan State Police say authorities were handling reports of bomb threats in the area after the incident.
I can confirm at this time that the FBI is now leading the investigation and is investigating this as an act of targeted violence.
That's the second church. That's the second church, boys. Look here. I don't even like religion like that. I don't like I don't know what's on the other side, and if you're alive, you don't know either. I'm not a big fan of what the churches did back in the day with the Crusades. It's just another reason to kill people and tell people what they can and can't do. I'm not a left or a right-leaning person, but what the hell are we
911
doing?
calls about bomb threats or
what are we
other
doing?
indications that there was a bomb at a different location. Some of them were churches, and we responded and cleared those locations.
I'd also like to acknowledge the heroism of not only the first responders, but the people.
Thank God that they had police in that church.
People who were inside that church at the time.
Like, used to, like, when you would have school shootings, right? You just have somebody that would roll up into the school and then, like, you know, unfortunately take people's lives because they were in some form either bullied or they were sick. But now you've got this advocation that is giving people the, I don't even know anymore. It's just the justification and the mental gymnastics these people have to do this. Oh, well, welcome, Wade F. I feel like nobody should. Like, that's why it's a free country. You shouldn't be harassed or attacked because of your religion, your race, your like the way you talk. Like, it's just sick in the head. It's
they were shielding.
It's like a full tear down of the entire U.S. and what it stands for. Is what's going on right now.
The children who are also present within the church.
It is. I absolutely agree with you. It is getting out of hand. I think that they just need to start passing more laws that prohibit certain rhetoric and speech for big media. They do. They need to start making it to where you can't advocate for death or violence in fear of persecution. It's sad that the First Amendment clearly states peaceably to assemble, but they're going to have to start pushing laws that are going to prohibit certain types of violent talks on these shows.
Moving them to safety. Just hundreds of people just practicing their faith.
Police have identified the suspect as 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford from Burton, Michigan,
the former U.S. Marine. The hell's he doing? Had a wife and son born with rare genetic disorder.
10 minutes from Grand Blanc, investigators are executing search warrants at his home. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer says violence in a place of worship is unacceptable. She's ordered flags across the state to be lowered to half-staff to honor the victims. Carly and Todd.
Madeline Rivera, thank you. With that, let us bring in former Assistant FBI Director Chris Swecker. Chris, are you hearing anything from your source?
Have you noticed? I've noticed something very particular about what's going on now. Have you noticed that every time something like this hits Fox, they've always got an FBI person involved? Am I the only person who's noticed that? Every time something big like this has been so the last church shooting with that trans person, they didn't have an FBI director, but ever since Kirk, they've had an FBI director ever since. And with the shooting up of that oh my God, what was that place that was supposed to be like the NFL or whatever? It was that as well. They had the FBI director talking about it.
As to motive in an attack that you heard a member of
the why would somebody who served go and do something like this? Is weird.
Targeted violence.
No, but I'll tell you this. You can tell the tip-off is that the FBI has taken the lead. That means they're treating this as either a hate crime or an act of domestic terrorism. Targeted violence means targeted at someone or a group of people in an effort to intimidate or inflict violence in the furtherance of social change or political change.
Yes.
I mean, it's a convoluted.
That's what makes. Okay. A lot of people don't know this, or don't really understand what constitutes as terrorism. Terrorism is whenever you want to put fear into a group of people and it's politically charged. So, like, if you kill somebody in that group or you try to oppress that group in any way and it's politically charged, that's what makes it terrorism. Okay?
Explanation, but it's either domestic terrorism or hate crime. Regardless, that's, you know, that
I'm neither. I don't really portray myself as any of these because, like, I kind of feel I liked Bernie, but there was no way he was ever going to get into office. Now, I had some things that I disagreed with Bernie. I'm sure that I haven't seen all of Bernie's speeches, but I'm sure that just like Kirk, there were some things that I probably wouldn't agree with. And just like with Kamala Harris, I mean, I don't like this ideal of far left, far right, middle, liberal, all this Republican, Democrat. I don't like this. I like looking past all of that, looking at a situation and saying, that's fucked up and wrong. Don't really care who's involved. That's fucked up and wrong. Not okay with that. Not at all.
They have already actually attributed a motive to this individual already, so they must know quite a.
I want the government to do what's right by the people because that's their job. That's what I want. I don't want to be handed two lessers of two evils and be told that that's what we get. That's what I want. I want the American government to do right by the American people and to stop catering to these big corporations. That's what I want. Because that's what they're doing currently, and I don't really like it.
A bit about him, his writings, his postings, interviews with his friends and family, his social circle, anything that might have been in his car or his pockets. I think the investigation is
no, you're right though. That's the sad part.
Deep into it at this point with regard to motive.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that. How does the FBI, you mentioned some of the items there, but how do they begin really to piece together the motive, especially that focus on his time as a Marine, because you certainly go to the mental health consequences.
Marine vet, obviously, they have quite a few, disproportionate number of suicides. This wasn't the only.
But
Marine.
That's what's weird about it. Like, if he was gonna, commit that, he wouldn't go and drive to a church. Like, that he looked fairly happy. Like, what happened? How? Like, how do you go from having fun with your family to driving into a church and it's setting it on fire and killing people? How?
We have one here in North Carolina at a place that I frequent, a bar restaurant in Southport, North Carolina. Marine veteran. Both of them had mental issues. Both of them had done a GoFundMe page very recently before the shooting to try to raise funds. One for the boat that he used to commit the shooting, the other one for his sick child. So, this is a situation of you find a manufactured grievance, if you will, and then a whole lot of stimulus from.
Man, I definitely need that in my life. That's for sure. You can pray for me all you want. Trust me. You ain't hurting my feelings at all. Like, don't feel any type of, like, I'm not one of those. I'm not like an atheist. I think that there is a higher power. I think that there's too many different versions of the higher power that I'm like, how can I, as a single person, decide who is the highest of higher power when they're all trying to make themselves the higher power? It's, how can there be so many different religions if there's only one true God, That's kind of my mentality of it. I don't know.
People either on the internet or even politicians,
complex.
Irresponsible politicians. We all know who they are. They're talking about Nazis and.
I'll take prayers from any religion. Load them up, man. I need them. Trust me, I need them.
Existential threats. They need to crawl back into their dark places. These people are out there. That has to be taken into account when you start firing off your mouth.
Yeah, to be clear, Chris, the shooting in.
He's right. He's fallen back to like I had said, is we gotta start outlawing. We gotta start removing this politically charged violence calling on all these
North Carolina Fox
platforms.
News has not yet confirmed that that individual was a Marine, but we're working to do that and get that.
Oh, so they're not even sure if he's a Marine. Okay.
Viewers.
That
Finally,
changes
with
things.
these recent attacks on churches, do we now need to harden places of worship like we do many schools?
That is kind of crazy, ain't it?
Unfortunately, yes. When I do school security assessments, I tell them that your first line of defense, the gold standard, is an.
I mean, like it'd be completely different because, like, with like a school shooting, you probably have some dumbass kid, right, that's gonna walk in there and think that he's gonna hurt a bunch of people, or the worst, unfortunately. And what's different is that usually these kids, they don't really think things through. But when you've got a Marine that plows his vehicle through a church, catches it on fire, and shoots up the joint, you got a problem. You got a combat veteran that knows what he's doing. Like you got a big problem. There's only so much protection you can do. In some instances, like, how do you even begin to protect against a car plowing the side of a church, and then a guy getting out and shooting it up like we're in like some kind of battle royale? Like, how? It's not like he walked through the front door, bro. Bro made his own entrance.
Off-duty police officer, preferably, or a private security guard, outside in a marked patrol unit, sitting, or at least with a marked patrol unit.
A patrol unit's not going to solve that. I mean, he would have done just as much as the people that were on the inside.
Nearby. It's just your first line of defense. You have to have it. Among other things, access controls, security cameras, and your clergy and your deacons and.
Bro, look here, man. Look here. You can be driving on this road right here, knowing full well what you're going to do. And then you immediately take a 90 degree, which is not possible. You immediately ping the pedal and you take a right turn. You cut through the fence and go straight into that church. There's no amount of security cameras. There's no amount of traffic control or people like security guards out in the parking lot that's going to keep somebody from just cutting a right-hand turn straight off the road, right across the grass into the freaking church. It's not going to happen. Like, there's obviously a huge problem here.
Ushers all need to have some, need to be on the looking out for suspicious activities. There's sort of your ground radar.
Throw holy water on me.
Eyes and ears. And then, of course, the parishioners and the family, when the red flags are raised, they need to tell somebody. In these cases, there usually are red flags.
Have a great day, man.
Off, or red flags being shown, red lights.
Thank you, sir.
There's something. They're in distress, and they're about to go off.
It's so sad that it has come to this, because all people want to do when they go into a house of worship is have
pray.
some time alone with the Lord. Then
I agree.
Their thoughts in the Lord.
I agree with that. And I feel like that with every religion, like, that's the worst thing ever. This was 4 hours ago. We might have some updates here. Hold on, boys.
Well, this morning, houses of worship on alert after a gunman rammed his car into a packed church in Michigan, shooting at the worshipers and then setting the building on fire.
Jesus.
So these 4 are dead.
He did a damn... I don't like saying it like that. It's kind of astonishing that he was able to set that entire building and burn it to the ground from one point. Like, how difficult that is kind of ridiculous, and he managed to pull it off.
Attack, and law enforcement feared that the death toll could grow.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt joins us now to react from the White House. Caroline, we all watched this in horror yesterday. Is there anything that you've been briefed with that could move this story forward to find out what the motive might have been?
Well, first of all, I want to express our sincere condolences to the victims and their families and all of the members of this church who were gathering on a Sunday in the United States of America to worship Jesus Christ. And a crazed gunman rammed his truck into the church and started firing at these innocent Americans. And our hearts break. The president was very quick to put out a statement completely condemning this and assuring the American people that the FBI is on the scene. And I spoke with...
You know what's sad? Is I can't say who wouldn't condemn this, because I know now that I would just be lying to myself. And what's really sick and disgusting is that the same people that would advocate or cheer the death of Charlie Kirk don't understand that this is no different. If you sit here and you cheer this on, or you cheer Kirk on, you're one and the same person. Because it goes from one person, one political figure, to groups of people. Who's next? Like, hell, for all this guy knows, when he did this, there could have been family members that he knew in there. He didn't even realize it.
Or FBI Director Kash Patel, bright and early this morning, he assured me and the American public that the FBI is currently executing multiple search warrants at the residences and...
I'm not going to sit here and lie, though. I don't want to say that this is politically charged, because we don't know anything about this yet. So I'm going to stay kind of fence-sitting currently until we find out more about this. We don't know anything about the guy, don't know what his motives are. We don't even know if he was part of the Marines.
The family homes of this perpetrator to try to get to the bottom of why he would commit such an act of evil. And the FBI is working with both state and local law enforcement, providing the full support of the federal government. And I just want to commend state and local law enforcement for their swift and incredible response. Local police officers were on the ground of this scene within minutes and neutralized this shooter, no doubt saving lives. And they should be commended. Our police officers are heroes, and this president will always respect them and support them.
They definitely were. They were there in 32 seconds, Caroline. What did the FBI director tell you about the shooter? What do we know?
What we know at this point in time is that he was a member of this Michigan community, that he is a veteran of our United States Armed Forces.
So he was indeed a veteran.
He served in the United States Marine Corps in Iraq.
God dang, so it was true. Why?
Family is cooperating with the FBI, and so they are currently trying to dig in and get to the bottom of why he committed this heinous act of violence. It's unfathomable. And as the president rightfully put in his Truth Social yesterday, this appears to be yet another targeted attack on Christians. And the Trump administration is fully committed to not only investigating...
That's so weird. How are the police there so damn quick as well?
These crimes, but prosecuting them to the fullest extent of the law, but also working very hard to prevent them, to see if there's red flags. The FBI is going to treat those as public safety emergencies and investigate them to try to prevent such violence from taking place in our country.
You know, Caroline, we had the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We had the...
you can't compare these things yet. You don't have enough information. Stop it. You don't know if this is politically charged or not.
Attempted assassination on ICE.
It could have just been a very sick man who just wasn't talking to anybody.
Officers in my hometown of Dallas, and you just obviously just referred to the church. Did this suspect leave any indication that he was trying to target people of faith, more than the obvious of him doing it to a church on a Sunday?
Well, from what I understand, based on my conversations with the FBI director, all they know right now is this was an individual who hated people of the Mormon faith. And they are trying to understand more about this, how premeditated it was, how much planning went into it, whether he left a note, all of those questions.
There's going to be a press opportunity afterwards. I get it. I know you have sources working very close.
In January and inherited this mess from the previous Biden. Ultimately, how we are going to end this conflict. It must end at the both sides agree. That's the point, right?
Yeah, we just don't know enough about it yet. Just don't know about it. Wait, what's going on here? What is this?
The FBI is digging into the Dallas shooter's background and some shocking discoveries. Take a look at this.
The shooter used the ICE tracking apps. Anyone who creates or distributes these apps that is designed to spot, track, and locate ICE officers are well aware of the dangers that they are exposing to law enforcement. It's a casting call to invite bad actors to attack law enforcement officers. It's no different than giving a hitman the location of their intended target. The media has been amplifying these apps even as we warned them it would only lead to more attacks.
Maybe we will. Maybe we'll start setting up a day for just gaming. I don't know what day though. Like, I mean, maybe like towards the end of a stream. I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot too. I thought about that a lot over the weekend. I was like, man, I should really start kind of leaning into the gaming a little bit as well, a little bit again.
Joining us now for our big close-up is the one and only border czar Tom Homan. Tom, these ICE tracking.
I would do it Friday, but I've been using the videos on Friday to, you know, kind of keep the weekend with videos, you know. So I can't really use Friday. I was thinking like maybe the middle of the week or something, like Thursday. Not sure.
Apps are a favorite tool of the left's, and now it's been used to plan an attack. So I think the big question is the administration going to take more action to crack down on these apps that are essentially used for stalking you and your agents?
Well, the short question is absolutely. DOJ and FBI.
I want to start doing like day one releases of games, so that way, like, you know, I can still stay relevant in gaming a little bit. So I just don't know what. I'll think about it more. I definitely want to, though. Keep that in mind. I do want to.
On Joey Jones,
just not sure what.
The John Brown group. Let's remember, when they attacked Alvarado, they shot an officer in the neck. So every one of those people should go to prison. But yeah, the apps are tracking ICE agents immediately. I mean, you got a representative in.
Bro, he looks so tired. He looks exhausted.
In Phoenix, Arizona, that was reporting to an app where ICE was currently operating right then and there. They're on this corner and that corner. So the FBI is all over this. I do think that's a form of impediment. And as far as those who are arming and financing these groups, we have license plate numbers. We got videotape of cars delivering shields and gas masks. They're all going to be held accountable, and FBI is deep in the investigation as we speak.
Tom, Jason Chaffetz here. I went out with ICE in Salt Lake City 2 weeks ago, and it was amazing when the officers started to tell me what they had to go through and put up, everything from apps to being tracked to being doxxed to their families being threatened. It is unbelievable what's going out there. We love these men and women. But these anti-ICE agitators, they continue to clash with agents, for instance, in Broadview, Illinois, where several were arrested as the police had to use pepper bombs to control the area. Now the mayor of Broadview, Katrina Thompson, is saying that ICE is, quote, I can't believe this, making war on my community. What say you, Tom?
It's
just more violent rhetoric. That's all it is. Just more fuel for the fire, huh? Let's just keep tossing gas canisters in there and hope that it doesn't blow up, right?
Ridiculous. Look, ICE is enforcing the law. I look at the numbers every single.
They're just doing their job. Straight up. That's all they're doing. People voted in a president that wants to heavily crack down on illegal immigration, and they went and hired a whole bunch of people and gave them a bunch of really good benefits. And now that, you know, they're just doing their jobs, like the police, like the fire department. I just don't.
Day on who they're arresting. They're arresting thousands of public
like
safety.
Those benefits that those ICE agents are getting, they're crazy. They're getting better benefits than fire department personnel
that are in this country illegally. public safety threats. You would think every mayor and governor would be calling up President Trump and thanking him for making their community safer. President Trump told me months ago, zero tolerance, Tom. He goes, if someone puts a hand on an officer, they're going to jail. They throw a stone at a vehicle, they're going to jail. Zero tolerance. And I've said it 1,000 times, I'll say it again. If you don't like what ICE is doing, then go yell at Congress. ICE is enforcing the laws enacted by Congress.
That's my thing, is like, you just hurting normal people. They're just normal people. Some of them have served, they have experience, and they get hired as an ICE agent, or they are police officers that are kind of like doing both. They're just normal Americans, and
Congress. They're appropriated billions of dollars a year to enforce that law. I look at the data every day. The vast majority of people in arrest are criminals. The others are, known suspected terrorists, national security threats, final orders who had due process or order moved by federal judge. They're doing what the law tells them to do. They're upholding the oath they took. So, they need to stop the hatred of ICE. I'm telling you, it's not.
He's getting angry, dude. Every time this gets brought up, I noticed him a lot with Kirk as well. He gets, actually, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't Kirk. It was the ICE facility shooting. He's getting more and more he looks more and more tired and angry every time this gets brought up with this violent rhetoric on these platforms.
Over. I said 3 months, back in March, on one of these shows, back in March, I said, if the rhetoric don't stop, there's going to be bloodshed and someone's going to die. And they have. And it's unfortunate, I'm right, but you're going to see more if the rhetoric doesn't stop. I'm glad President Trump, Pam Bondi.
I mean, when does this stop? Whenever you've got people driving into the barriers for the ICE thing and making homemade bombs to blow up the freaking facilities with illegal immigrants still inside of them. I mean, for fuck's sake, the last one, the guy shot 3 people. They were all illegal immigrants that were held there, that were getting ready to be deported. He didn't even shoot an ICE agent. He shot 3 innocent people.
Secretary Noem's all taking steps to hold these people accountable. Zero tolerance.
Tom, first of all, thank you for being you, for going back into this job. You're in retirement. You're ready to put some margaritas back on the beach.
Yeah, that's like what happened with Nam. In Vietnam, whenever people came back, they were getting spit at and cussed at and called all these foul things. And it's like, you do realize that some of those guys got drafted. They never wanted to be part of that.
We're taking care of our country, and we need it. This is a video of a woman confronting an ICE agent at an immigration courthouse in Manhattan, and it's making news. She's seen being shoved to the ground by one of the agents, and according to the New York Times, that agent has been relieved of his duties and an investigation is underway. I'd love for you to tell us what you know about this, explain any information you have.
It's not surprising to me that they're already having trouble with these agents, because whenever you see your, friends of yours get doxxed or they get jacked up because of some stupid crowd that's being formed and all the pressure they're having to deal with. I mean, remember, if it bleeds, we can kill it. But at the same time, at what point do you finally decide to just stop doing this? Because you're not... Again, this is only going to end with a lot of laws being pushed that are going to take American rights away. That's all that's going to end up happening. You're just going to end up losing more individual rights because you just don't know how to stop.
Well, you can look at that video different ways. There was a pushing and shoving going on. But they also seem to be tangled up, right?
Yeah.
So, if she's impeding with ICE, then the officer, has the right to use of force. But again, I'm not going to judge it. I'll leave it up to the independent OPR investigator. But every time there's a use of force, there has to be an investigation anyways. Every time.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure that officer filed a report.
Arrested by ICE after he was ordered to leave last year. Now, some on the...
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, a real turning of the tide there, Tom. It's Anita Vogel. Thank you so much for joining the show tonight. We so appreciate it. I want to ask you about this crazy story. In Des Moines, Iowa, school superintendent Ian Roberts was arrested by ICE after he was ordered to leave last year. Now, some on the left are portraying him as a sympathetic victim, but police found a loaded gun and a knife in his possession. And this isn't the first time that he has run into trouble with the law, with law enforcement. He was already facing weapons charges from 2020. So let me ask you, Tom, how could an illegal alien end up running a major school system? And, you know, are there others out there like this across the country? And keep in mind, there was a nationwide search to find this person, to find the right person for the job. And this is the person they came up with.
That's being investigated right now, but this is just another example I just said a couple minutes ago. ICE is arresting public safety threats that are here illegally. This guy already had weapon charges in the country illegally. You would think everybody would be in support of this, but now you got people supporting him. It's just incredible where we are as a nation. And, you know, I've done this since 1984, and every day I wake up and I look at these reports. I'm saying, you know, we're in a time now where the police officers.
I just don't get it, dude. It seems like no matter what, you're always going to piss somebody off, and then they're just going to advocate for death and violence. And even whenever you, in your heart, think you're doing the right thing, or you know you're doing the right thing, it's just not going to matter. It's just crazy. It's insanity. There's going to be a massive protest.
And meanwhile, in Portland, Antifa is gearing up for a massive protest tonight at the ICE facility there. A flyer is circulating online urging people to rally against President Trump's order that deploys troops to the city to protect ICE facilities against violent rioters. Christina Coleman is live with the latest. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Tommy. Yes, more protests are expected tonight in Portland after the president announced he plans to send federal troops there. Yesterday on Truth Social, the president wrote, at the request of Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, I am directing Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. We have the full screen there that President Trump put out. There you go. So he said, at the request of Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, I'm directing Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland and any of our ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other domestic terrorists. I am also authorizing full force. Feel differently. Portland is one of a number of cities nationwide where there's been ongoing protests against the president's crackdown on illegal immigration, and some of those demonstrations have turned very violent with clashes between anti-ICE rioters and federal agents. There's been a dramatic rise in assaults against ICE agents nationwide compared to the same time last year. Democratic lawmakers from Oregon think adding more troops to the mix is going to make the situation worse.
Trump is sending troops to Portland with the goal of, quote, doing a number on the city. And we know what this means. He wants to stoke fear and chaos and trigger violent interactions and riots to justify expanded authoritarian control.
And this is the kind of shit I'm talking about right here. And this is the kind of shit I'm talking about right there. He's not an authoritarian. He's part of a democracy. Can't be. It just. That's just crazy. Like, just, to take that and turn it to take sending more troops out because you've got violent rioters, and just spin that to make it an authoritarianism move. Like, that's, oh my God, that's just so, this is the whole problem right here. This is the problem right here.
Let's not take the bait. Portland is peaceful and strong, and we will take care of each other.
Well, we'll see how things play out tonight. Again, more protests.
You have your own your own political representatives down on these media platforms that are doubling down on this violent rhetoric, this violence, this we're going to stand firm even though you're not the one down there. There's no we're in this. You're idiots. He's not even down there protesting with you. He's in his multi-million-dollar mansion that he got from taking your taxpayer money away from like schools in the area and like police in the area and the roads in your area. That's right. The reason why you keep backing out of your driveway and you got a pothole the size of a watermelon.
Are planned for outside the ICE facility in Portland this evening. Tommy?
Christina Coleman, thank you so much. I'm going to open it out to the table now. It's still an incredible deterrent because when you know that these facilities are going to be...
I can't. It's just sad, dude. This country's cooked. It's cooked, boys. ICE makes shocking arrest at school. Superintendent. Isn't this the
This is hard to believe. Des Moines Schools superintendent arrested by ICE. ICE announcing Friday that Ian Andre Roberts is, quote, a criminal illegal alien from Ghana in possession of a loaded handgun, $3,000 in cash, and a fixed-blade hunting knife. At the time of his arrest, Roberts was working as the superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools, despite being an illegal alien with a final order of removal and no work authorization. Jesus. Roberts has existing weapons possession charges from February 5th, 2020, and was given a final order of removal by an immigration judge in May of 2024. Absolutely stunning. Former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf joins me now. You know, Chad, you and I worked together when I was in the White House.
It's a great question. Obviously, the school district did not do their due diligence. He has a criminal record as well. So clearly they didn't do any type of background
Damn, that is insane. So he was able to get into the school system with a criminal background.
Investigation. The amazing part here is he has no work authorization. So when they enter this individual's information into their system in order to get paid, to pay taxes and the like, all sorts of red flags should have been prompted there. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they say, to see how this individual, did he use an alias? How did this come about? And I think it begged the further question of the amount of illegal aliens that are here in the United States working in everyday jobs and the like. And some of them, like this individual who has a possession charge, has other criminal acts on their record, and to be so close to school children, right? To be part of the education system there in Des Moines is
he wasn't just really part of the education system. He made like changes to the education system. It's insane. He's a superintendent.
Chad, I look at these pictures and I see kids, and I think that could have been my kid. And this guy had a criminal charge. Do you think? And again, I know I'm asking you to speculate here. Did they just not input his name into the system? How often does this happen? I mean, there are measures in place. I mean, it seems like it'd have to take a whole lot of looking the other way to not find this.
I think so. Look, the school system there, just like any other employer around the country, has an obligation to make sure that everyone that they're hiring is here in the United States legally, has the ability to work legally. So if they're not a U.S. citizen, then they have some type of work authorization provided by the federal government. In this case, the Department of Homeland Security. He didn't have any of this. And so the question is, did he provide a fraudulent social security number and was operating as someone else? And if not, I think there's a lot of questions that school system has to answer. And the question is, are there others there as well?
Yeah, you know, Secretary Wolf, that's a great question. And back to our top story of the day, because I want viewers to understand.
It's kind of insane that he got an illegal weapons charge. He got charged with it, right? He got that. He went to jail. He served his thing on that. He did his time. Just to end up having another illegal firearms.
Department of Homeland Security. Underneath that is U.S. Secret Service, who found this vast
I mean, he didn't do anything violent, but why would you need to keep a gun on you like that?
Servers. Matt McCool from Secret Service had this to say. He said it would be unwise to think that there's not networks like this all across the country.
Oh, there is.
DHS. Do you think there could be networks of servers beyond New York and cities like Chicago, L.A.?
Oh, he's talking about the servers now. Yeah. That server thing it's a server thing. It's a thing for servers. Here we go.
Last night, Sinclair and Nexstar's ABC affiliates started re-airing Jimmy Kimmel's late night show. Both companies had refused to air the program after ABC ended Kimmel's suspension.
See, I figured that was going to happen. I wonder how they got around it.
Earlier this week. The controversy has reignited a debate over free speech. Senate Majority Leader John Thune told CNN's Dana Bash that he believes the FCC should not use its
I
power
personally feel like it's a good thing that he came back on air, and that if the media broadcasters don't want to air them, then that's their decision to make, because it's their it's their station. It's not Jimmy Kimmel's, and that's their decision. But I do think that it's kind of crazy. I personally feel like Jimmy Kimmel being taken off the air and his show being threatened to be down indefinitely was enough to teach him a lesson in, what you should and shouldn't say. Hopefully he's learned from this and he doesn't get an airhead, but who knows? Only time can tell.
Coercive way when it comes to the First Amendment, but he stopped short of saying the Trump administration did something wrong. So for more on this, let's bring in Eric Deggans. He's a TV and media critic for NPR. Good morning, Eric. Thanks for joining us so early. So I want to talk about Kimmel's opening monologue when he came back on the air. He said, this show is not important. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this. So whether the president intended this or not, this has become a free speech issue, and it's pinged both sides of the aisle very sharply. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think this conflict.
But I would like to branch off of that and say, cheering for death and advocating for death is not free speech.
This controversy wound up exposing a lot of different issues in politics and in broadcasting. First of all, of course, we had the First Amendment concerns when an FCC chairman goes on a podcast, threatens the broadcast licenses of ABC affiliates, and then Disney acts to remove the person that was being criticized from the air for nearly a week. But the other thing that it raised was this concern about what happens when you allow companies to own broadcast stations that reach a large swath of the American public. Between them, Sinclair and Nexstar reach something like 25% of the country. I don't think people realized how much control these companies had over what people could see and how much of the country they covered. And, they wound up blacking out Jimmy Kimmel.
Well, just think about, like, if we just had these TV broadcasters still, the birth of the internet and how much actual freedom you have compared to, like, national television is insane. Like, there is a reason why a lot of these broadcasters like CNN, Fox News, and all these people, they're losing ratings. It's because if you want to push a narrative, it's incredibly easy to do it. But whenever you do something live, where you're covering something, it's a lot harder to do. It is. Like if you, for example, are covering something that's live, and as a podcaster, for example, and you're trying to cover breaking news with a bombing, and you find out before the news station because you get a phone call from like an FBI or somebody, and they're like, say this so that way we can see if anyone's gonna reveal anything, or we believe a perpetrator's watching your thing or whatever, something like that. It's easier to get that. It's easier to portray it in a more realistic way than it is to spin a narrative of, like, for example, the shooter that went and shot up the NFL thing, the company, or at least he thought it was the NFL. They tried to say that he was, I think they were trying to say that he was a different race or something, and then it come to find out that it wasn't that. It was, he intended to do something completely different. But if they didn't have the internet, would they have still tried to pass it off as what they thought it was, or would they have ever corrected themselves? Because the internet adds an entirely different aspect of forcing these big media companies like CNN and Fox to tell the truth. But would we ever really get that if we didn't have as much freedom online as that we do, is what I'm trying to say. That's the big question. Because these big stations, they do cover a lot. And it's very easy for them to take a narrative and falsify it and then output it. Like MSNBC falsified something with Kirk, and then they had to do a reprint, and they apologized.
In cities like Washington, D.C. and Seattle, where you would presume, they have a reputation for being left-leaning, you would assume that they would be perhaps a little more open to Jimmy Kimmel's message and might have wanted to see that show. The Trump administration has tried to characterize Nexstar and Sinclair's decisions as local decisions made entirely by the companies, but this is distant ownership, making decisions for TV stations that are hundreds of miles away from their corporate headquarters and may have local standards very different than these corporate leaders have imposed on their entire system.
Yeah, we have a map right now showing all of the different markets where these TV stations are. Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, which owns ABC, as we know, has been criticized throughout this entire process. After Kimmel was taken off the air, high-profile actors came out in support of Kimmel, and then ABC viewers from across the country, a lot of them unsubscribed from Hulu and Disney Plus en masse. Do you think that making the decision to bring Kimmel back was because ABC execs were taking a stand for free speech, or do you think it was because of
it was money. I mean, this guy's probably not going to say that, but it was for money. They realized that he was making more money than they thought. I promise you that's what it is. It ain't got nothing to do with free speech. When it comes to a corporation, it's always about the bottom dollar. How much can they make? How much can they squeeze out of the bottom to the top? It has nothing to do with politics or freedom of speech. They'll pass it off as that, sure. But it's never about anything other than money.
Well, you work in tele. In this case, it wasn't just money. It was the reputations of the top executives at Disney and the fact that so many high-profile celebrities had expressed concern and signed on to a petition.
I'm sure.
That was circulated by the ACLU protesting Jimmy Kimmel's suspension.
How many signatures did that petition get? How many signatures did the petition to bring back Jimmy Kimmel get? $230,000. See, boycotting campaign reaching over 80 signatures. Move on, petition. There's petitions. So yeah, 230,000.
You had names like Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep. You had Diego Luna, who starred in a big Disney Plus series, Andor, and you also had Pedro Pascal, who stars in a big Disney Plus series, The Mandalorian, and starred in a big Marvel movie that's owned by Disney, Fantastic Four. So these are people that Iger and Dana Walden, the top executives at Disney, would have had to work with. And it was damaging.
Yeah, but I guarantee you, if Disney was like, well, you can accept it or we're going to fire you, then I'd imagine that decision would come pretty promptly and would probably swing in the other direction pretty quickly. Money talks, man. Money talks a lot. Nah, I don't care about this. Here we go. We got this one. The Pokemon Company just won't stop, man. Won't stop, can't stop. Okay, we bake. Whew. All right, here we go. Oh man, let's see what kind of hole Nintendo's digging now. My mouse. There it is.
It's been a long time since I've done a reaction video. This is long, and it may get to the point where I'm like, oh my God, we've had too much of this woman. I've only watched half of it, but half of it is more than enough to get enough data. So there's going to be some new stuff that I'm reacting to genuinely, but I watched half of it and I'm like, dear sweet Lord.
Oh,
I didn't need to watch anymore. There was nothing that was going to redeem what I saw.
Jesus.
So we're going to watch this.
Well, this is going to be bumpy.
I have no idea who Dick Shu is. And I probably need some Tylenol Americans to do some research on Dick Shu, because typically when people give fluff interviews, they're playing for the same team. There are a lot of at all softball.
Everybody's slightly different. Why you went to law school in the first place?
Okay. This is very important.
So she's the lawyer.
This is a coded message. She's asking, why did you go to law school? The way that they answer puts them in the pro-DEI or anti-DEI camp, right?
Okay.
Listen to her answer and listen to what motivates her. Once again, I want to be very clear. I am very against racism. I am very against anything legitimate. I think if there's a legitimate claim, bring it to court, right? Bring it to court, lock the people up. Lock the people up if it's a crime, right? If it's a criminal act, go to the police, go to law enforcement. They can convict you of stuff with like almost no due process. You're not allowed a real lawyer. It's just like people's feelings. It's a bunch of kids judging you. Like it's kangaroo court. Go to a real court and file a complaint. So I have severe suspicions when people are like, well, we talked to the university. Well, the university is on your side to begin with.
Well, I started the way many Asian American kids do in college, studying a handful of sciences. So I started in cellular molecular biology, and then I moved to have a concentration in computer science. And somewhere along the way, I got involved with our Asian American activist organization at the university.
Stop there.
Oh,
Stop
boy.
there. What did you just
Here
say?
we go.
Our Asian American activist organization. So she called it an activist organization. That's a virtue signal, because these things are not necessarily activists. Once again, I had a very, I'll tell the story. I had a very close friend in Korea, very near and dear to me. She's an extremely intelligent woman. She's extremely capable. She's pretty based, right? Head of her sorority, head of the Asian American Society, but they just did cultural events and parties and did cool stuff and fun stuff about Asian culture. If you've lived, I live in Asia, right? I love Asia, right? I love all that stuff. That's all great, right? But she slipped in the word there, activist, right? That is not a mistake. Let me tell you right now, guys, that is intentional. That is very, very.
The University of Michigan Asian Student Coalition. And it was my work with that group that actually ended up getting me over to law school. Because what happened was we had a dispute.
So her activism got her into law school. So she came in as an activist. Once again, there's nothing wrong.
Oh, so this, like most of the people that ended up in big paying jobs, is she was an activist and realized that because she feels a type of way, she needs to figure out a way to back it with mental gymnastics in law school.
Defending against legal stuff. But once again, that's a job for law enforcement, right? Report that to law enforcement. You should not be once again, report it, giving over any evidence, right? Law enforcement. Is it a crime? Right? Someone said they practiced the podcast. It's possible they submitted questions ahead of time.
University, there was an event at a fraternity where a group of our cohort went, and they experienced some racial slurs at the frat. And our group engaged.
So they said she doesn't say what racial slur. She doesn't say what the frat was. And once again, let me remind you guys, I said this earlier, but let me say it again. One of the big things about Stop Asian Hate was they stopped that movement after people looked into the statistics. So who was it? What was it? What was said specifically, right? Now, let me be really clear. Real racism does exist. People do say racist things, right? But what exactly was it? What was the context, right? Maybe it was real, but the point is she's leading with it.
That's kind of the problem that I've had with a lot of this stuff, is like the minute you are like, well, prove me wrong with something, or what do you think it means? you always end up leading the conversation if you know you're right. Because you don't need to hear what the other person says, though you want to know what kind of stupid stuff is going to fall out of their mouth. But typically, their argument falls apart the minute you try to ask them to prove themselves or prove their context or where did you hear this from. It usually falls apart. And don't get me wrong, maybe they heard it from somewhere, maybe they watched a YouTuber say it. And the video, if you check the comments, you can see all the like comments of who knows what. Maybe they've got their comments disabled. That's a pretty big indicator of them just not wanting to be wrong. But if you yourself hear something from somewhere and you don't validate if it's real or not, 9 times out of 10, when someone does know if it's real or not, you're going to look like a fool. And it's embarrassing and you're not going to admit that you're wrong. But come on.
It's very, very, very sus. If you look at her eyes, she looks like she's reading off a script, right? He also kind of looks like he's reading off a script as well, right? They're not looking at each other. Like, it looks like they're not looking at each other. Maybe it's just because it's like the Zoom call look, it looks like it's
maybe. I think that
I don't even.
No, there aren't. Now he's lying.
We got there. Did you like it a lot, or were you?
Okay, at the risk of sounding like a complete tool, I loved law school.
That's okay. There are people who love law school. I think that
I don't even.
No, there aren't. Now he's lying. Who loved law school? What are you talking about? It's not okay.
I've heard law school sucks. I heard it's hard as shit.
When you say I was a complete tool, I was not a complete tool, but I loved law school.
Well, so how did you kind of migrate? I mean, obviously you went to law school. I assume you didn't know exactly what kind of lawyer you wanted to be. You somehow migrated into the world of.
This is a big tell. This is a huge one. And this is one of the biggest problems.
Damn it.
Is that
actually at a large litigation shop.
What? Stop right there.
I assume you didn't know exactly what kind of lawyer you wanted to be. You somehow migrated into the world of intellectual property. Tell me a little about how that happened.
Well, my first job was actually at a large litigation shop.
What?
Large litigation
Stop right
shop?
there. This is a big tell. This is a huge one. And this is one of the biggest problems. Is that your first job as a lawyer defines you. My first job as a lawyer, like as a real lawyer, not for summer, not for everything else, right? But as a lawyer, was with helping big corporations like Universal Studios and doing property and real estate. And that affected the way I think about things. Because in property, real estate, and with big business, you work on win-win scenarios, right?
Okay.
You generate win-win scenarios, you generate money. I care about money and making things profitable. I'm a transactional attorney. That's what I grew up as. That's what I grew up as from a baby lawyer to a big lawyer, right? And then I went in-house, worked with big corporations, did regulation, did compliance, did a lot of other stuff.
Okay.
When you start as a litigator, right? Litigation, right? It sets you in a way where your mind thinks litigate. That is the last person you want at the head of your company. Every company I worked for that was sane. Universal was sane. Their general counsel was fine. They're kind of based, actually. Kind of a Chad. But that's at least the one I dealt with back in the day. I don't know if they changed now. But point of the matter is, they care about money first. They don't care about litigation. They want to avoid litigation. This person, because she's from a litigation shop, that means they focus on litigation, not a full stack law firm. My firm did.
So they actually focus on lawsuit, right?
My firm did a bunch of things.
Is that where he's going with this?
Property, they did litigation, they did also, they would do your divorce if you wanted to. They did a lot of stuff, right? That's kind of what we call full service, right? She was focused on litigation. That puts a specific mindset and makes you litigation crazy. That's the problem here. That's a big problem.
So that explains why she's so ready to go after all these other companies like Power and Power.
Let's go.
A lot of insurance was involved because it was a product liability case that had gone on for years litigation, which
setting herself up as I am a litigator who will sue people. What this does, what she's saying to the people out there, the ESG people, is to waste money of the company. So what she's signaling is I am going to drain these companies' money because all the litigation
that's what's going on. So she is the type of person that is going to sit there and try to drain a company like Pal World of their money. Hopefully Pal World has some money left over.
Drain the company's money. And that's what DEI and ESG is really set up to do. It's not set
Mhm.
up to help the company. It's actually set up to kill the company. It's like a poison pill.
Yeah.
They plant it inside the company to kill a productive American company. When you want to kill a productive American company, a beloved company, a company like Disney that Walt raised, Walt will be ashamed of what happened today with the Disney
I
company.
absolutely agree with him. I absolutely think he's 100% right and completely based for saying that. Holy crap. Way to go, legal mindset. Let's go. Like, even Marvel would be absolutely ashamed to see where his studio ended up. Like, I couldn't imagine a world where Stan Lee would look at Marvel and say, this is what I wanted. Because after Stan Lee died, it turned into shit. And we all knew it would. We all knew it would.
You put DEI and ESG in it. You add DEI and ESG, and it, without fail, kills the company. Once again, the company doesn't die because they get a lot of injection of capital. There's a lot of mysterious money that comes into them. For example, government money. Remember during COVID, a lot of money came in mysteriously. They got all these capital injections. That's the only way they stay up. Without that, they'd be gone because DEI killed the productivity of those companies and they killed their business model, right? But now we're on a turn where companies no longer have those cash injections, where DEI is being exposed. Shout out to Kirsha. She's done the Lord's work on this. And she's also talked about how they're trying to convert it to bridge. And we can't.
Well, that's what I was saying with all those DEI programs that Biden put into place. Like I was saying, like their company was getting paid stipends. They were getting paid money for hiring based on diversity, equity, and whatever, and inclusion, DEI. That's what those programs were for. So they hired more women, more trans, more anything that wasn't a white man. That's honestly what it was. It was anything that wasn't a white man. And then once these people got into positions of power and the funding stopped, everyone could see what was really going on, and it was just too late for a lot of these companies. That's why they're shutting down, or they've, like Ubisoft gave its stuff to Tencent. That's what happened.
Let it be converted to something else or let the name change. Kirsha's done a great job on that.
But at the same time, not particularly keyed into the times and started working right away on mainly soft IP cases to begin with. I developed a preliminary injunction practice.
A preliminary injunction practice. This means she got used to quickly shutting people down. That's exactly the type of thing you'd file against the modding community or anybody else. So she pretty much perfected to stop the little guy, to stop people right away with IP, etc. Now, once again,
so this is the bitch that's causing all our problems with Pal World and the modding communities. This is the kind of person right there.
Sometimes these things are important, but I'm very concerned that this is the methods that she's looking at, because how many people have gotten a cease and desist, have gotten an injunction, have gotten some sort of court order out of nowhere, right? For what? Right? With no due process, etc. Right? Very concerning. Very concerning. But she talks about guarding creativity with preliminary injunctions. That's not what you're talking about. We're talking about killing creativity, because the real creativity are the people you're shutting down, like Pal World, like the modders. That's the real creativity. Your creativity is dead at the Pokemon Company International. Kabushiki Gaisha Pokemon.
Well, that the reason for that is because they're losing so much money. Pokemon is not doing well. I mean, it's doing well enough that they don't have to worry, but like, I would never play a newer Pokemon game. It looks like crap. You can't tell me in a day and age where you can ride a dragon flying through the sky that in like what almost looks like real world graphics, that I have to sit here and play a stupid little cartoon that can't even pick up an AK to do anything. Like, I don't want that. They had so many chances to make Pokemon good, but they're too stuck in their own way to want to make it good. Like, there's nothing more cool than if they had made Pokemon look more realistic. Like, as a kid, I would have been fascinated by it. It's just bad.
Right? You killed it. Officer Jenny killed it. People like Officer Jenny around the world are killing creativity. They hate creativity. They hate fun. They hate fans. They hate you. Right?
Yeah.
We can't let the people that hate win, right? We are the lovers. We're the people that love Pokemon. We care about Pokemon. And we got to say Pokemon. We got to say Pikachu.
To give you an idea, I put more time into Pal World whenever I played it than I have in any Pokemon game, and enjoyed it way more. I can never go back.
Pikachu's in trouble right now, guys.
I won't.
Pikachu's in deep trouble, right? Like Giovanni's got him, you know. But we can say Pikachu. We can say Pikachu. We can redeem Pikachu. We can do it. We got to do it right, better than that. And that's the horrible thing about DEI. DEI says they're better than Japan. DEI thinks the DEI way is better than the Japanese way. You don't get to say that. You're a Japanese company. Follow an order. Follow a hierarchy. Stand in line.
Put the fries in the bag.
Right?
Put the fries in the bag. Seriously.
And, you know, once again, these people all talk, they act tough about, oh, I love culture, oh, I love this and that. He wouldn't make it a day. Officer Jenny wouldn't make it a day in a Japanese company, a Korean company, or a Chinese company. I know many female lawyers over here, right? I'm familiar with them. They don't act like Officer Jenny. She would not cut it in Asia at all, period. I can tell you that right now, as someone in Asia, right?
We were the plaintiff on our IP infringement cases, on the small ones, you know, kind of what we would call the anti-piracy cases.
Mm-hmm.
But these were large copyright cases.
Mm-hmm.
And
let me say this the third time. She's unqualified for her job. Whoever hired this woman should be looked into. Japanese companies are looking at this. Who hired this woman? Why did they hire somebody who's unqualified? A general counsel should have transactional experience. If they do not, they're unqualified for the job.
Ooh.
Damn. I just started moving into more and more areas. Then in 2005, we were preparing to launch, and that was its first
challenge. Was that
CEOs came when I
Yeah, this is the problem. She doesn't play games. She hates games.
was just out of law school, so I didn't have a lot of time to console game. But you know, I grew up playing arcade games.
She's not even a gamer, and she's trying to put down. Wow, that pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? That's the DEI in a nutshell. We're gonna take over an IP and not know what the hell it's even about, but we're gonna go ahead and use our DEI woke creative brain to make sure that this does well, and then it just gets burned into the dirt.
Gamer. It's a fake gamer. We need, once again.
I dated a fake gamer. Bro, we would get into arguments about how she was a fake gamer. Like, because she'd be like, well, I play board games. And I'm like, that's not a gamer. Gamer plays video games. Like, I think the entire time that I was with her, I think she played one game, and it was Skyrim. And she didn't even beat it. She would just get on and play for like 30 minutes, like maybe once a week. And then that was it. She played like Nintendo. And I'm like, well, Nintendo like growing up, but like, that doesn't make you a gamer. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is the problem. She doesn't play games. She hates games. She hates games. I played arcade game. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, what is even like, that's another thing, is like, you could tell she lies, because no one's gonna say, I played arcade game. What is an arcade game? What's the name? You're very vague with what you're saying, because you don't play games. What's an arcade game? Like Atari? Like, what did you play it on? You played at like an arcade, or like, what do you mean by that? You go to like Main Event and play some of those games? Like, what is an arcade game?
She doesn't even play game. Fake gamer, doesn't know anything about the actual product.
What a joke.
If you
check out Legal Mindset, that was a good video. What a joke. Seriously, what a freaking joke. That's insanity. What time is it? It's 11:20. Shit. We already covered that. No. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, so like, apparently over here in Houston, we got this like bayou that's been like like bodies are being found in it. They got like 10 bodies so far.
Another body is found in a Houston waterway.
Police say a woman's body was found in Buffalo Bayou near Commerce and Milam Streets downtown last night. This is the 6th body recovered in less than 2 weeks from bayous across town. 5 of the deceased have now been identified.
Orko Mano live downtown, and Orko, our viewers have been very vocal about what they want to see.
Apparently people have been going missing, and then like not long after they've been ending up in this bayou.
Response to this, tell us.
Guarantee you there's some kind of serial killer around.
Yeah, Len, our comment sections on social media are filled with people saying more surveillance cameras are needed along the bayou. City leaders
I mean, that body could have came from anywhere. It doesn't necessarily mean somebody dumped the body in there by going up to the bayou and dumping it. It could have like washed from like upstream, could be from downstream. Could be from anywhere.
Not feasible, but criminal justice experts say cameras might be the best way to prove what city officials and police have been saying all along, that no serial killer is on the loose.
I don't know about that.
Another body found in Houston's bayous. Police say a woman was spotted in the water near Commerce and Milam Streets around 11:30 last night.
Officers were alerted to this by people that are riding by on scooters, and when they noticed something that appeared to be a body.
This is the 6th body recovered in bayous in less than 2 weeks, leading many to believe it's the work of a serial killer.
Yeah, but where else could, like, we haven't had any crazy flooding. Like, what else could it have been?
Saying earlier this week that's not the case.
There is no evidence that there's a serial killer loose on the streets of Houston.
But the public wants answers. KHOU 11 viewers.
Yeah, how do the people die? Have they not released the autopsies yet? How do they die?
Lucy and Chris, all commenting on our posts online, asking for more surveillance cameras by the water. I brought that to City Council member Carolyn Evans-Shabazz. A lot of people have come to us asking for more surveillance by the water. Is that something the City Council is looking into?
I have heard that suggestion, but I don't know how we could implement that. To say that we can install cameras, we would have no idea.
That bayou is miles long. There's no way.
Where to put them, because we don't know where the bodies went into the bayou.
To be honest, serial killers are very rare.
Even so, criminal justice expert Krista Gehring tells me more cameras might be what's needed to put those rumors to rest. How important is it to try to show that to people who are convinced there is a serial killer?
I think it's very important because obviously when you have these bodies showing up seemingly all at once, there's obvious concern. The camera might actually capture where an individual falls into the bayou or has an accident.
It is interesting to me that they think that it's not a serial killer, yet I mean, there's no autopsy reports from the bodies yet. Like, usually they are pretty quick to release that onto, like, the news. Why wouldn't they release that?
Or is intoxicated or whatever, because that's likely what is happening.
With 6 bodies? In, like, 2 weeks? Come on.
Now, I also reached out to the Houston Parks Board, which manages many trails around the bayous, and asked if they planned on installing more safety measures, including cameras. They sent me a statement only saying in part, quote, as with any
How old were the victims? Like, there's no identifiers to these victims? Like, what's going on?
Space residents should remain aware of their surroundings.
How old they were? Like, what were they doing? Like, you know, like what were they doing when they went missing? Nothing?
Stay cautious and vigilant, and if you see anything, call 911.
It's kind of odd to me that these people went missing and they don't talk about, like, you know, who's looking for them or anybody looking for them. Like, what's so weird?
That they rely on the city and county's law enforcement departments for public safety. I also reached out to Houston Police this afternoon for more updates on any safety measures here, but they only referred me to a press conference.
Did they find more bodies? They may have found more bodies. Have they found more than 6 bodies in Houston in the bayou? More than 6 bodies have been found. Oh, they found 15 from the waterways, with 6 of those discovered in less than 2 weeks. While the recent cluster of deaths has sparked online serial killer, Houston police have stated there is no evidence to suggest they've recovered 15 bodies from that bayou. Apparently, a lot of the people that were pulled from the bayous were homeless. They were experiencing homelessness. I mean, what better way if you were a serial killer than to prey on like homeless people, you know?
They had earlier this week with the mayor. Reporting live downtown
That's
tonight,
crazy.
Orco Man.
That's actually crazy. Yeah, we might have a serial killer. Who knows? That's insanity. Must be a fish. Yeah, it's a big ass fish. All right. We are probably going to go ahead and roll up out of here. What a great Monday morning it's been. I'm going to think about doing more gaming stuff at some point. I just don't know if I'm willing to do that quite yet. But I have been thinking about it quite a bit. I do kind of miss it. Just being able to like sit back and like just turn my brain off and play a game. That shit was fun. But I don't know. It just don't help out with the views, man. But I'm definitely thinking about like doing something related to gaming. I'm just not sure yet. But we rolling up out of here. Thanks for watching on this wonderful Monday. I hate Mondays, but we got through it pretty quickly. I'm sure like once I start editing this video, the day's gonna just shoot by. It typically does, unfortunately. But what a great Monday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I'll roll it out of here, man. I got a lot of stuff to do. I'm out. Stay safe out there. Be friendly. Put a smile on someone's face. It might change their whole day. I'll see y'all